We can all agree. Anyways, I don't think there's actually detection with this army, funnily enough. But it's about to catch the army of Hyper Turtle completely for free. Well, half the army was split off there, but the Archaic, not quite sure of that. Oh my gosh, there's about to be a lot of big balls exploding all over the army of Hyper Turtle. They continue to go out, clean up a bunch of the Archons. There are still Archons at the front, and the Disruptors are completely spent. +2 upgrades, and the DTs with no detection, ravaging the army of the Archaic. 2 of the Disruptors have gone down, 2 others very low at this point. But there is detection here for the DTs now, so they do get cleaned up. This 4th base starting to take some major damage. Hyper Turtle continuing to warp in behind. Disruptors do get sniped. Excellent target fire out of the Stalkers of Hyper Turtle as he continues to push forward with his army. Dealing a lot of probe damage and continuing to warp in and fight, trying to target down the pylon, but unfortunately there's another pylon. Who could have predicted this? Does target the battery now, but I think that will allow the Archaic to clean up here. I think maybe just taking the 4th and then leaving would have been the best option there for Hyper Turtle, but unfortunately winds up trading his entire army and I think potentially his life for it. It's not going to matter too much if you do kill these. Okay. The Archaic does clear out 2 of the cannons. I like that move. Very cute. Feel free to screenshot. And now going to hit another cannon, some probes. I feel like you should maybe save the Disruptor Balls for the army, but they may be able to replenish in time, so it might not matter. That is so many Archons. That is 17 plus 3 Archons. Or no, I'm sorry, they're plus 2. They're almost plus 3. Uh-oh, here comes the balls! Balls! No! Oh my gosh. And just like that, you're down to 9 Archons. That's not very many. Or at least not as many as 17 was. I'm not sure who's winning this fight. I think it's the Archaic for sure, though. Hyper Turtle is coming in with Stalkers, but they're actually not great against Void Rays if the Void Rays overcharge. The Archons are protecting the front, but now the overcharged Void Rays are slaughtering everything. Yeah, fighting down that choke with 17 Archons was possibly the worst choke in this map to fight in with Archons. And there's a lot of chokes in this map. I mean, oh hey, he does manage to snipe one of the things, so that's nice. Oh, he doesn't have detection again, so he has to target down the mothership, which means a lot of shots will be able to go off. There's no more battery overcharge, but I think Hyper Turtle may be able to hold here. Oh, blink away! Oh, he blinked into the other Disruptor Ball. No! Ah! Okay. I think Hyper Turtle will be able to survive here with 51 workers remaining, which is a good amount of economy. As the Archaic is almost fully mined out in his 3rd base even at this point, which means he will only have 1 mining base to the 2 of Hyper Turtle. Has managed to clean up 2 more of the Disruptors, and the Archaic is twin supply and kill your opponent. I guess you can kind of do the second one without doing the first one. Be down in supply and still kill your opponent. That's like a fun little thing that can happen. Anyways, the army is going into the only remaining mining base of the Archaic and targeting it down. Does decide, you know what, I guess I will kill your units first. Oh, an excellent last-second lift on the Disruptor, and GG is called. So a long, long way from being able to help out, which means these tanks should be able to get a nasty position, potentially. And he's going to slow push. Forget I said anything. Oh, he's going to very slow push it. Okay, Hyper Turtle's army is starting to move down now. If Rex moves in and Chumley sieges up, this is going to be a hard nut to crack of siege tanks. A nut of siege tanks, I think, is the technical term for a lot of tanks. Siege you! Oh no, siege the tanks. Okay, tanks are sieging. Massive biles on the Void Rays. Oh my gosh! Huge biles. Targets down the overcharged battery, and huge biles on the carriers! Oh my word! A massive attack out of Chumley and Rex here, annihilating the Protoss armies. I mean, that was just huge biles on those Void raising carriers. I'm talking about how Marines are good against carriers. What about Ravagers, baby? Channeling Dark here is Rex maxed out, and this is exactly what Steph was talking about in that pregame interview. If you leave Rex alone, you better fear for your life, because things are about to go very poor for you. Goodness gracious, that was insanity there. Massive corrosive biles. Those are some of the nastiest corrosive biles on air I've seen. Definitely the nastiest I've seen in the FSL. Holy cannoli. Great play out of Rex there, and Chumley. Good adaptation, saying, what if we didn't let you get a big army, right? What if we just kind of went for it? And GG's called. Robo's a little over halfway done. That means these mines should get off at least one more set of shots, if not two. KJ is dropping out one more mine. Oh! 10 probes, dude. Oh my gosh. KJ gets a massive shot! Oh, 6 more probes! And the mines in the main base are still ready to fire, I believe. This is disastrous for Neutrophil here, who's down to only 11 workers sub-start on his worker count. And hot diddly dang, I suppose. And thusly, yeah, Freedom's just trying to keep the screws to his opponent, so to speak. Oh, and the Stalkers are looking to go down and deal with these Marins. Quick, force field your ramp again, Neutrophil. I promise, it'll be worth it. Oh, and now, another dive into the main base. There's a cannon there, but it's not done yet. Oh, burrow. 2 probes. Lost mining time. Oh, and now the Marines and Marauders coming in for Freedom. And they don't have stem yet, but there's a lot of them. There is Charge Zealots out, though, which is nice for Neutrophil. More medevacs than Freedom made in his entire last, like, 20-minute game he had. Already, 8 minutes into the game. So that's pretty nice for him. This is going to be a bust, though. He needs to just lift up and get out, I'd say. Oh, maybe not. I underestimate, I guess, the power of Marine Marauder. And now they have Stem coming in as well. If anything, that force field almost helped him against the Zealots. Now beaten down on the natural base of Neutrophil is Freedom. Marines trying to run away from the Zealots. Marauders now targeting down some of the Stalkers. And it's a scrappy back and forth fight, but it's 73 supply to 33. And similarly to Freedom in the last game, Neutrophil does not want to leave this until he is forced to, with 2 Widow Mines now on the low ground. And a big chunk of bio with Stem. I just don't see a cleanup happening here anytime soon. Probe does sacrifice itself to draw out a mine shot, but there's just a stream of bio pouring across the map. 1 Immortal on its way out, but it will only be so helpful. And alas, another force field was not there this time around. Oh, did he lose his observer? He lost his observer, by the way, guys. So these are perma-cloaked mines again. GG's.
Okay, so the 2 Void Rays are going to try to sandwich while the front attacks. Okay, let's see how this works out, because...
Not to mention intercept reinforcements.
Yeah, and here's the reinforcements too for Deepu. Here's the timing here. He's going to time it now. Void Ray's going to take out the tank. He does take a Void Ray out.
Yeah, but he moved him away from the tank. That's what he really wanted.
Yeah, Deepu lost both tanks, and that's how he would break this shield battery setup here. And I think he needs to... He's going to back off. He has a 3rd base coming in. Yeah, in bio, you cannot beat bio without any, unless you have overwhelming numbers. At least at this size, without storm or disruptors or colossus. So, the tanks are slowly moving in.
Those field batteries.
This is good. He's kiting him back. Storm is still not done.
It's a lot of damage output. The Marines
Yeah,
especially.
he only has one Templar, so really he only has one Storm. The shield battery may go down. There's a run by the Zealots trying
He
to
takes
protect
that
the
one
tank.
tank, but
He does. This is looking real good for Deepu. The super battery overcharge may not matter, guys.
yeah, not with those Marines.
This is the power of the bio push.
And this
that I
deal
was
all
talking
becomes try to keep them one for. Deepu wants to keep them close to the siege tanks. Archaic wants to keep the action close to the batteries, but I think it's over.
He's a little careless with his tanks, but it may not matter because there's only 4 supply of army here for the Archaic. There you go. You can just push in there. That's not enough.
Warping in, but they're going to die pretty quickly, and
Yeah,
Templars
it's
have to
easy
charge up
supply,
before they
man.
can storm. At best, he can cast a couple of feedbacks, right? Yep.
That's it.
All right,
There you
Saf,
go.
hit it. GG.
All right, we got a tight game, guys.
Interesting. Like it.
That's what you got to do if you're Deepu. He produces pretty well, right? So.
But there's a drop here. He's not gonna.
All right, guys, we're live. What is up? What is up? I'm here with Maligant, day 27. What's up, Maligant? What is going? Very important games for sure. And we actually, are going to start this off with an interview with one of our Patreons. Right? We have some great support over the season, over the year, right? But over the season, we started a Patreon, and one of the supporters there is, Mr. Cyan, who's going to interview. But let's take a look. There you go. Thank you for our Patreon supporter, Cyan, as mentioned. We interviewed Hyper Turtle. He's the second one there. And of course, we have Rogue Ranch supporting us as well. So let's get Cyan on here for an interview. Let's see. Cyan. Paging Cyan. 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello. Mr. Cyan, are you here? There he is, guys. So there's Mr. Cyan. So we're gonna start before we go through the games. We're going to talk to Mr. Cyan. Ask him about himself, an interview for one of our Patreons. So, Malaga, if you come up with questions, feel free. So let's start first.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have a question for Cyan. Hey, Cyan, how did you know about Typhoon?
So I think it was back in 2016, I believe it was. I won a bronze, silver, gold tournament. I can't remember who used to run it, but I won it and I got coaching from then from Sugar, who has since moved on, but he coached me when I was playing Karen, and that's how I came to know what Sidestorm was, and then I did some Google searches and found out about it, and I went to my first LAN event, which was Sidestorm Cup, I want to say it was 5, where Penguin and True faced off, and that was up in the cave in Fairbanks, Virginia.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that. It's cool then. So how long have you been playing Starcraft?
See, I started with the original Starcraft, and then of course Brood War. And then when 2010 hit, I got a new computer and started playing Wings of Liberty right then. Prior to that would have been the old Warcraft games, Orcs versus Humans, if anybody remembers that from the early 90s.
It looks like we're having
Cool then.
hold on, guys. Looks like the audio is cutting off on this channel. So give me a second. We're gonna switch
It's
it.
only on your end, KJ.
Yeah. The production is
I can
is
hear
what matters.
Cyan very
So hang
clear.
tight. Hang tight. Production is what really matters. Go ahead,
Yeah.
guys. Cyan, can you hear us okay?
So yeah, I mean,
There you go.
they are much better.
Cyan, how you doing?
Hey KJ, how you been?
Good. All right, so we solved that. There was a little channel issue, but it looks like it's good now. Yeah. So Cyan, you said that you had joined a bronze, diamond, whatever tournament, right? Online, or where did you join?
Yeah, it was. Y'all used to host. I think it was Filthy that used to host these every week, or maybe it was just Sidestorm in general.
Yeah.
Where I think they had like a diamond through masters and a bronze, silver, gold,
Got it.
and the bronze, silver, gold got an hour coaching, and the diamond through masters got something else. I can't remember what it exactly
Okay.
was, but
So online, you found out about this tournament, and then you knew about a Storm Cup LAN event. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, and it was in Virginia, and that's where I
Gotcha.
found, hey, Sidestorm's in Virginia. That's pretty cool. They're just up north from me,
Yeah.
maybe about an hour and a half away. And then I came to that cup, and I got to meet everybody. I met you,
Yep.
Penguin, and a whole bunch, and True was there too. So
Yeah,
it was a
that's a
really new experience for everything.
Yeah, you met the pro, True, who was a DreamHack champion, and he's Korean, who had a
Yes.
visa, was staying in the team house, so that was pretty cool that you got to meet him before that whole thing disbanded. But that explains how you got into this. But let's go back a little bit further and tell us, how you got into SC2.
Well, I played StarCraft Brood War, in the late 90s and played that to death and always constantly played it. And when I found out that Blizzard was making StarCraft 2 and I saw the trailer for Wings of Liberty, I just got right into it. I did a lot of 2v2s, not so much 1v1s. Didn't really understand, control groups and everything like that. And of course, the game has evolved tremendously since Wings of Liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
so you got into the competitive side, right, of this. You enjoyed that, and you met. Tell us how you know Ghost Chant and your crew there.
So I met Ghost Champ when Legacy of the Void dropped. So between him and there was a couple other guys, Ward is another one too. I met all them in the first team or clan that I was in at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And Nihilus lives down in Norfolk, which is another hour and a half away from me. So we became close friends really quick.
Yep.
And then one day I just decided I'd asked Sugar. I said, "Hey, can I join the Sidestorm community?" And he said yes. And I've been with y'all ever since, and I've worked my way up to
community manager now and took that
Yeah.
over from Brian.
Nice job. And
So-
actually, you're part of the Storm management team too.
Yes,
The
that is
actual
correct. On
team.
the
So you
actual
you have some inside scoop of any team activities really before
Yes.
the public knows. So that's the cool thing, right?
Nice.
By the way, Cyan, did you know this guy next to you, Mr. Sir Maligan? He designed the Storm logo.
that I did not know.
Yeah, he's the original
Yep.
designer. So
Yeah, the first versions of the shirts and the. Did we have uniforms back then? No, I think it was just t-shirts.
it was just t-shirts.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just, we can go back in time to show those kind of things, but I think we might have that. If you guys are interested, you can see some of the discussion as to how Storm came to be, the history of it on YouTube. We just had our 7-year anniversary, and so that's all there. We kind of talked about it, showed some pictures, talked about the history, the players. So if you guys are interested in that, but this is about Cyan, so let's talk about Cyan again. Cyan,
Yeah.
you're very involved with the team and the events, and you even brought in your family playing. So tell us about that, because I do remember meeting them at one of the events afterwards. So tell us about that.
So they used to come when the Storm Cup moved to the government center in Fairfax. It was a lot easier to bring the family along, so they would start coming with
yeah.
me to that. And there was other things that the kids could do because they really weren't in Starcraft at that time. There was some
That's
VR
right.
stuff there.
They can do
They could
things.
play, they could play Madden or whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So, and of course, there was carnivals out there for little Charlotte and stuff like that. So they really got into it then, and my wife just picked it up maybe last year because she just wanted to play games because I would be in the office that we have where I'd play StarCraft or I'd play the PlayStation 4 or whatever. So now she can do it too. And then Stu Blue has really picked up the game. He really loves
Yeah,
it.
he's
And
pretty good.
he's
It's getting
focusing
better.
really hard because he's like, I
watch
want to get
out.
in the Code S. I want to win Code S.
Nice.
Watch out, boys! Codes Blue.
And Kitty Cat Gamer, she's still young.
She'll get there.
Yeah, she's about 3 years behind Stu Blue right now, but
Yeah.
in terms of age, but you see what Little Reaper can do, so
Well, yeah.
I hope that Kitty Cat
Yeah.
can
No
do the same
excuses.
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just because they're young doesn't mean they
Right.
can't be any good. And that's a
Oh,
very
yeah.
good point, right?
Kitty Cat's so good with macroing up. She just needs some strat games in there. So
Yeah,
and
so
actually-
hopefully
Yeah, go ahead.
in the next Storm Cup, the family can actually play in it then
There you go.
if we have enough computers for it.
Yeah, and actually, I
Yeah.
want to show you guys something really cool with regards to Cyan. Cyan visited the team house and supported the Heroes of the Storm team. And here, check this out. In the history, you can see them right there. I don't know if you guys can see that on the screen. There they are. Look how young Kitty Cat Gamer is.
Yeah, that was that was middle
Yeah.
of 2018, I
Yeah,
think.
that was a while ago. I mean, you did. True was there too at the team house. And you
Yeah,
can see
True
Stu
wa-
Blue
True
right
was there
there.
too.
Stu
Yep,
Blue
that's
is
him.
right there, guys. So it's a long history of Cyan, and the kids didn't know it back then that they were gonna play some SC2 and compete, right? So yeah. So back to you, Cyan. Now that they're involved, they know what you're talking about. Have you gotten a little bit of reprieve and the grief that you get for playing this game so much?
Yeah, there's not much complaining about, that we play video games. It's just what we do. Beforehand it was like, hey, you're always on the computer, you're always doing this, and now it's not so much because Mrs. Uber,
everybody's on it.
she actually plays more StarCraft than I do right now.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
nice.
There you go. Yeah.
So and you can see her, she's over there playing right now as we speak.
She's
So
practicing. She wants to move up to the Code A.
oh yeah, she definitely does.
There you go. And so Cyan,
Nice. Yep.
Cyan, I know this is a not a too long of an interview. This is not an in-depth interview. It is just a small teaser to get to know one of our FSL players and one of our Patreons, right, Cyan. So, Cyan, tell us, something else about you that's, related to, I guess, you and your involvement with FSL. Like, how did you, decide, hey, I want to play in this FSL thing?
There really wasn't anything. I had played in other tournaments before, for like bronze through platinum or platinum diamond, but those just didn't feel right to me. And I think when your first season started, I started watching, it was of course the family Starcraft League with you and your brothers and the nieces and nephews and kids and everything. And I thought, man, that's pretty cool. And then you upped it to Friends Starcraft League.
Yeah.
And then it became a fun Starcraft League.
Yeah, it's open to
So,
people that are gonna be good for a family-friendly event like this, right?
correct. And I thought, this is great. You get to play against, all the kids. Everybody pretty much knows everybody, or they're related somehow. So I thought it was great, and I was like, yeah, this is the most fun tournament that I've ever played in by far, and I would never miss it.
Yeah, there you
Yep,
go.
nice.
And the season's coming to an end, and we're headed to the playoffs. But we've had 5 seasons so far, which is insane. to think
There she
about.
is.
How did that happen?
Hey, yeah, I know, right? I have one more question for Cyan though. Cyan, you mentioned that you play a lot of. You used to be a Terran player. What got you to switch to Protoss?
Colossus.
Classes.
Let's
Colossus
go.
was just awesome. I mean,
War of the Worlds.
in Heart of the Swarm, I mean, it was just, they were so good. They were
Yeah.
just so good, and I was like, man. And I felt like I could control the Protoss army a lot better than I
Better,
could
yeah.
technical with the Terran. When multi-prong
true.
harass, I don't have that. Unlike KJ, KJ can do a bunch of different things at his age, but I feel like I can't. I cannot do that.
And
Yeah.
you can eventually. You just gotta practice. But Cyan, tell us something else about you that's not related to video games and StarCraft.
Okay, well, that's pretty easy. There's actually 2 things. I did 8 years in the United States Marine Corps.
There you go.
A lot of people don't know that.
Nice.
And I am also a master electrician at the Virginia Commonwealth University, and I've been an electrician for 22 years, roughly.
Oh wow.
You know what? He is just Size Storm through and through, energizing the game.
I know, right?
Electricity.
Energizing.
Yeah, and I do keep. I do have another jersey. I've got 3 jerseys. I got one on the back of the chair. I've got the new one that I wear when we do the FSL, and I also have one of the original jerseys sitting at my office on the chair. So when everybody comes
that's
in,
right. Yeah.
it's right there.
Yeah, no, that's
Nice.
fantastic.
Nice. That's cool, man.
I also, Cyan sent me a Size Storm, or not just sent me, he created it and I came down to get it. It's a Size Storm logo. It's pretty cool. I'll show you guys. I think I tweeted it sometime, so we'll find that and show that on stream sometime. But yeah, that's Cyan.
I was hoping you'd have that up on the wall during the streams.
So here's the thing. I did.
I know it's heavy.
I tried to put it. You can see behind me. Dude, that thing is so heavy. It's
I know.
It's a death trap, man. It's gonna fall on someone's neck and kill them. And there's no way I can secure it safely. I did put it somewhere else. I'll show you guys where that is eventually. I'll have to take a picture because this camera won't turn there. But it is here in the my gaming room office. So we'll post that sometime. But yeah, that's Cyan. Very heavily involved since he got in. Cyan, why don't you give us some final words about StarCraft and what FSL means to you?
As far as FSL goes, I mean, it's family, it's fun, it's your friends, everybody knows everybody. It's just great to be here and play against everybody. There's no BM here. Everybody has a great time, whether you win or lose, and you're constantly learning something from playing in the FSL, and I think that's great.
There you go.
Nice.
That's Cyan.
Yep.
So thank you, Cyan, for hopping on and also contributing so much. Not just what you can contribute financially with your work, the management thing, your talents, but just all the support that you've given us. So hand for
Yeah,
Cyan,
man.
everyone watching
Awesome.
and people on YouTube eventually that catch this. Thank you, Cyan.
Yep, you're welcome. Thank you.
There you go. That's Cyan's interview. We're gonna transition to he's also playing a match tonight. So his
So
possible
what's in
last
store
match.
for tonight?
So yeah,
Is it-
let's show that real quick before we hop on. And there it is. Tonight we'll have Cyan versus Deepu for Code A, and then we have two 2v2 games for Tortoise and Hare. And so Cyan versus Deepu, let's start talking about that. But before we get going, let's bring in Deepu to the chat. I think he is been patiently waiting. Let's bring him in. Mr. Deepu.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
There he is.
Yeah.
So you guys,
Up Deepu.
there he is.
All right.
That's this time. He's all set. He got a new haircut. He's all he's ready for this mini playoff game. Actually, this is a playoff game. Whoever wins.
Oh, this is already
well.
playoff game.
Whoever plays this and wins goes to the playoffs. That's what
Goes
I
to
heard.
the playoffs. Okay.
I
Okay.
think that's the scenario. Did you guys see that? I think that's true.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
sounds
tied
about
up all the way across the board as far as wins, matches,
Yeah.
and everything.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
whoever
Yeah.
wins
It's a big
gets
game for you
in.
guys.
Yeah, let's show that
Yeah.
real quick. See, and here are the standings, and you guys can see it right there. So Cyan and Deepu right here, tied up 3-3. There's only 4 spots for playoffs. The winner here goes to the playoffs. So it's gonna be tough. It's tough for
Yeah.
either of you. I can't tell who's gonna win, but this is a playoff game to get into the playoffs. So let's start talking to them. About the game. So Cyan, we just finished an interview with you, so we'll come back to you right after. But let's start with our very patient Deepu. Deepu, you got a lot of games in the last few weeks. You didn't start off with a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe you had one game. You had a long break. How have you been dealing with something like that? Have you been practicing all throughout, or are you just kind of,
I
What
mean,
did you
this
do?
time I think I've stayed a lot more like constant with my builds. Like I've experimented a little bit, but like overall I've been playing Terran the whole season. Like playing less and less different stuff. Like last season, I think I was playing all the races. So I think like just honing it in a little bit and getting good in a couple things is helping me out a lot this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you have improved
Yeah.
quite a bit. You're not just winging it. I mean, your macro has actually improved. The only thing I would suggest is not build all your buildings in front for easy sniping. But
yeah.
but other than that, I mean, you've been pretty solid from what I've seen. I'm gonna ask you one more thing. When you first joined FSL a while ago, I do remember you had some fans cheering for you, watching the games, and you did
Yeah.
pretty well. Are they still following you? I mean, the fans from your family and etc. What's going on with you?
I mean, I think one of my friends, Jason, is watching right now, but I'm not sure. I told him the match was starting about 30 minutes ago, and there's a bit of a delay, so I don't know if he's still there. But I mean, usually if they're not watching, I go back in the call with them and I tell them what happened and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Or I like show them the VODs of some cool plays, like ETT, him especially, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. So, tell us about this FSL season for you, because you are, you have a chance to go to the playoffs now. You made it last year. In fact, dude, you beat one of our Code S guys, right? Last season. That was a huge upset. So you're doing well enough. Tell us about this season. Are you way better than last season? What do you think?
Yeah, well, my plans for this season, coming out of last season, where I wanted to play good enough, make it high enough up, where maybe I could see a promotion to the higher tier cup or whatever it's called.
Yep.
But I definitely didn't open the season that well. So I think if I win this game and make it in the playoffs, I'll try and practice some more, especially right after the AP testing.
Yep.
I get some more practicing in, and then maybe be ready to make it a lot higher up this time in the final tournament than I did last time.
Yeah, dangerous Deepu. So now back to Cyan. I'm gonna ask you, how have you been preparing for tonight's match, if at all?
If I'm being honest, I would say no. I have watched the VODs with Deepu playing, but MLB The Show 22 dropped, and I have been playing that nonstop Still trying to get some StarCraft games in, but not as much as I wanted to because I've been playing a lot of MLB The Show. But I think the skill is still there. I think there are going to be some good games tonight. And fun fact, I have never beat Deepu in a best of 3 before.
Really?
I've always taken one match, but I've never actually beat him.
There you go. Well, maybe tonight's your chance. Maybe Deepu continues his winning ways. We'll find out. Maligan, you got any questions for these two?
Probably some tips for the players, I guess. Scout, and then for Cyan, I guess, shield batteries.
Shield batteries.
There you go.
And be decisive. All right, and then for Deepu, I think I
For
gave
both
him
of them,
tip.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Deepu definitely scout. That's it. All good.
Yep.
It's gonna be a good match.
All right, I think this is gonna be good.
All right, thank you.
It's gonna go either way for me. Good luck, gentlemen, and we'll.
Good luck, Cyan.
Good luck.
We'll see you guys.
Good
on
luck,
the other
guys.
We'll see you on the other side. So let's mute and deafen these guys really quick. I'm doing production tonight as usual, but I'm also kind of the main host. Usually that is Seth, who'll be joining us a little bit later. So let's mute these guys real quick. Hang tight. And so Maligan, while I'm doing this, what do you really think? They can't hear us now. Well, I guess he doesn't think much.
Fully.
Maligan, what do you think? What do you really think about these guys? They can't hear us. They're muted. They're deafened.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Cyan. I think Cyan's gonna win this.
Okay, so Cyan, even though he has never won against them, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
pretty
he
sure
said.
he's
At
probably
least in a
practiced.
series.
Yeah, and he did say that he didn't play that much, right? But you'll never know. Maybe he has something in store for Deepu here.
That's true. All right, well, we're going to focus on the players now. We're going to load up
All right.
the games. We're going to start off with 2,000 atmospheres almost always. That's the case. But we do have Blackburn
favorite
here,
map.
Maligan. Look at that, Maligan.
Ooh.
Blackburn's here. So those are
Nice.
the vetoed maps. Very interesting to see those maps. So yeah.
How about you? Who do you have here? Deepu?
Well,
Watching FSL Season 5.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Deepu. That's just a guess.
Alright.
Alright. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. In the top right, the Terran player.
Deepu.
Alright, at the bottom left, considered to be the underdog. It is.
Cyan.
Okay, there you go, guys. We'll see what will happen here. And the reason, if Cyan was well practiced, well prepared, I favor him.
Mhm.
But he did say he hasn't been practicing as much.
Hasn't been
And
play-
StarCraft
yeah.
is like running, right? You go in a running
Yeah, you have to-
competition and you're not practicing, you're gonna get run over.
Yeah. Especially for our age too. I mean,
That's
for
true.
us with Cyan, I mean, we just lose that APM or that the micro skills.
Yeah, well,
That's why we have to keep playing this game.
that's true. And yeah, Deepu is young, and yeah, he has had to prepare for some exams and all that too. But we all
Oh,
have,
yeah.
and that's the cool thing about this tournament. There's not a bunch of competitive people really in reality, right? Oh, look at this block.
Oh,
eBay
block.
Very good eBay block.
And I like where Deepu placed this barracks. This might rattle
You
Cyan
might-
actually
yeah,
when he
yeah.
sees there's no barracks there.
Yeah, if he doesn't
Let's see how
look,
he reacts.
let's see if he looks. Let's follow that probe and see
Yeah.
if he will see it. If he doesn't,
Oh
then
boy.
he's looking for it. And he
Up
spots it.
he
And you
God,
know, Maligan,
boy.
here's the thing. I like it actually down here by the minerals on the third base. And you can see, you can always lift it up right after. So, and it's
Yeah.
a little bit harder to scout. But he knows what's going on. He doesn't know about the
Yeah.
command center though. So, and he does spot the eBay block. So, but you know what he's doing? He's doing 3 gateways. So this is dangerous for for Deepu. He better be ready for
Yeah.
3 gateways worth of stuff coming his way. Right?
Yeah, look at that. The sneaky probe on the left.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably dropping a proxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deepu should be what you call be suspicious because Cyan has never attacked the block there, the eBay.
Yep. That's true. That's a tell. The one thing though, he
Yeah,
put
that's a
the bunker on the high ground. I prefer that at the bottom. You might as well protect the command center.
Yeah, protect the command center.
And he needs to rush a factory here, which is there. He has some gas, but I think actually look at that. That's a hole in there. See that depot?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is a hole. He's like,
oh, there.
Let me plug it in. There's a weird probe here on the left. I don't know why it was there.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna send it out to put a pylon.
Yeah,
I guess he pulled it back.
Yeah.
He probably was just looking for something, you know. It's probably just a scout.
Yeah, and Cyan, look, the longer this goes, the worse for Cyan, because, you know, Terran has a base and he's mining. So,
Yeah.
he does have 3 gateways, he's gonna make a lot of stuff. And, oh, this Deepu needs to cancel this. Let's see if he's paying attention. Nice.
Oh, he did.
Okay. So, a tank, that's beautiful for Deepu. You just gotta keep making that tank. He should be safe for a little while. It is blink though. You know about this, Maligan. Tell us about how dangerous this blink is.
He needs to have at least a spotter up there if he wants to make this work, I guess.
Yeah,
let's see.
A spotter.
He doesn't have a spotter there, so
Yeah.
all he has to do is, yeah, he needs to have at least maybe there you go.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
thing
just
is,
one observer.
he needed to make that robo earlier. If he's not gonna have a spotter, he needs some hallucinated Phoenix. Because for those that don't know, if you can't spot on the high ground, you can't see him. You can't shoot down that tank, and it's gonna keep shelling.
You can't blink up too. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I think his window is closing here for an attack.
Yeah, very quick.
Yeah.
There's already a tank. There's a
Yes.
bunker. There's
Second
another
one
tank coming out.
Yep. And then he's not gonna have vision for a while. This robo is just finishing, so no observer or prism anytime soon. And he's
Yeah.
expanding. So this is very late, man, for Cyan. Cyan's build, you know, he went 3 gate, but he didn't really push the issue.
Use it, yeah. Yep. So if you want to do 3 gate opening like this, you should at least harass already. But
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because look at this. If you send those stalkers on the natural, there's nothing there actually.
Yep.
Just on the high ground.
Exactly. Go attack on the corner here and force a lift off. You know.
Yep.
He has blink, so he can Briggs have just finished, so he can certainly.
Does he have
take
observer
advantage.
already? Oh, he's not making an observer.
Oh,
He
he's
needs to
late.
make an observer.
A prism. Okay, he's in attack. The
Oh,
place
okay,
is
he's gonna do an
dangerous.
attack. Nice. Yeah, this is dangerous actually.
It's very late.
If you
There's
can get
2
in there.
tanks. Yeah.
Oh, he's
Um,
positioning the stalkers.
Yep. I don't
You
know,
better
man.
make sure he doesn't get shelled there.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Cyan. Although
Ooh, they're moving.
Deepu's moving out, so it could be a situation where Deepu's in his production killing stuff, and then Deepu. I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Deepu is out on the map. Cyan's killing stuff, and then because Cyan can just recall home.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem.
And Deepu scans. There's no troops, not even one. He's
Yeah,
probably
so-
wondering where the heck.
Wow.
Oh, he's still moving. Oh man, if you
They're gonna run into each other.
blink
Oh
up.
no!
He needs to blink up.
Deepu
No,
sees
there
it.
you go.
He's
Needs to
gonna do a
cancel
lot of
that
damage.
research. Oh, he should have canceled that research on the barracks.
Yeah.
There.
cancel
He sees it. He needs to
He
cancel
sees
it.
No,
No, cancel it.
you should have canceled that
Ay,
first.
ay, ay. Yeah, I should
Although,
have canceled that. Now there's
He
gonna
has
be.
a lot of stalkers though, man.
Yeah, nice. He has blink. Oh, he
Yeah.
takes out both tanks on the top. Focus fire the
He's just
tank.
gonna pull it off, man.
Yeah, he's gonna pull this off. He needs to warp.
Oh
There you go.
man, Deepu. He just did not expect something like
GG.
this.
Yes. Deepu should have. I think the reaction of Deepu there was wrong because when he scanned that there's no troops in the base, that should tell you that the troops are out somewhere.
Yeah,
Probably heading your
it
base.
should not have been out on the map. I think
Yeah.
he just hung out there for a while. He just happened
Should've-
to be out, and he just took too long to get into his base, and he left the tank
Yeah.
back, so that kind of screwed him up. So, you know. So anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna hop on into the next map, which is going to be Blackburn.
Yep, that was
And that
unfortunate for Deepu for
Yeah, he was
moving,
ahead.
unsieging the tanks. Yeah, he was
He was
ahead.
a good spot, man. But,
Yeah.
so, you know, I'm sure. So Science getting coaching from somebody. He was talking there, and Deepu may be getting coaching also from whoever. So we'll see what happens. How they
Yeah.
adjust in game 2.
'Cause that was a great opening there for Deepu, really.
Yeah, Deepu was ahead. That's
Quick
for
expand,
Sure. He was in great
block.
shape, man.
Yeah, eBay block. He was in great
He was
shape.
in great shape. That was his game to win by just hanging back, right?
Yeah.
But he happened to be just outside in the map. So, but anyway, guys, the next map is going to be Blackburn, and that was an interesting map.
All right.
So,
So I guess Deepu is now full Terran, huh?
yeah, you know, for you to get really good, you really should play one race and stick to it.
One race, yeah.
It's too hard to try to play all the races and learn all the combinations of
Yeah,
how
all the
you can win
timings.
and how you cannot lose. But
Yeah.
anyway, guys, game 2.
Blackburn.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
Alright, you guys. In the bottom left, he had the lead, but unfortunately, he was just in the wrong position. This is
Deepu.
All right, at the bottom right, he takes game 1. It is.
Cyan.
okay. Well, an SCV Scout, I think he's going.
SCB
oh,
with a
he's gonna
different
change.
trajectory.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he's gonna make a proxy, a real proxy this time.
Yeah, real proxy this time.
Wow.
This is where Cyan needs to be scouting. This map is
I wonder if he's doing like
Easy to
multi
cheese.
Reapers. He still hasn't made the gas though. So
could be old, but he oh there's the second one.
there's barracks.
Yep, there we go.
So it's
There's
all
the barracks.
so far.
No refinery, so probably just all Marines.
Oh, there's.
Oh,
the
there it
refineries.
is.
That's just a little late.
Yeah. So what's up with Cyan? Oh boy, he's gonna expand. Oh, this is the worst time to do a.
Actually, you want him to expand here if you're Deepu. But
Yeah, you should have let him. Oh, Deepu,
You should have let him
shouldn't
and
have
pretend you're
blocked
trying to take it because you know now
Yeah.
that money's going towards other stuff. Maybe he might even make 2-3
Yeah.
barracks like he did before. Right?
Yeah, because
Now,
if you
a
force
Zealot is here.
if you force a Protoss to not expand, it will just drop two more gateways.
Oh, and Deepu's gonna lose his SCV for free. That's everything
Oh.
matters. And now
Yeah,
you forced him to make a Zealot, which is good against Marines. Although he's not making Marine. Oh, he's been spotted though. I mean, there's something fishy here. I think that the probe saw that there really isn't much at home. So if he doesn't know how to read that, sure. But I think let's see if he cancels his eBay. He cannot not cancel this. Everything matters, right? He lost an SCV.
yeah,
And he needs to cancel this. He does.
nice.
So yeah, this is gonna be a Marauder push,
Yeah,
which, as you know, I tried this and I didn't attack early enough. I waited 5 seconds too late. It didn't work. So.
there you go.
Oh, he's gonna run
he's
right
gonna
into
spot
the.
it.
He needs to micro. Everything matters here. Don't lose that Marauder. He's not microing. Oh, if that Marauder is very weak already.
Yeah.
But he does have a bunker. And
Science is double now.
Science making shoot
only-
battles on the high ground.
Man.
which-
Cyan only has one gateway,
Yeah, he
so
only has one
that's the
gateway.
problem.
Actually, if he goes up now, which he is, because
Yes,
Cyan
he can win
canceled
this.
it. This is why I wouldn't have canceled it if I was Cyan. But, oh man, what can he produce? He's not even producing any units.
Yeah,
I think
This is
Deepu
GG
is
right
going
here.
to take it right here. Because what do you have to fight? SCVs? And And you let
He's
your-
not making any.
Oh, you forgot warp gate.
Oh.
But and there it is. We're got a tie game. Guys, that was very interesting.
Yeah, this is why it is important to scout.
Yeah.
You could have spotted that cheese right there, actually.
He did scout. Technically,
Did he?
Right, he saw
Oh,
the thing. So
Oh, yeah,
what
it was too
what
late,
his
yeah.
mistake was having only one
gateway.
gateway, and he didn't make more than 2 zealots. He should have chronoed that, right? I don't know if he spent all his money, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunate for him, you know. But we're gonna go into a third game with these guys, and now they're both warmed up. Now they both made mistakes. Now
This
they
is the
know
decider
it comes down
game.
to one game to go to the playoffs.
Yep. Deepu got lucky there too, actually, because Cyan, when he got blocked, he didn't even make another gateway or anything.
Yeah, you know, in
He
game
just-
one he
he
got
just
blocked,
pulled
and
the money.
Deepu and Cyan made 2 gateways, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I was
Yep.
like, I don't think this is gonna work. We saw Cyan make 2 gateways, but he only made 1. So that was a little odd, but
All
hey,
right.
that's how it works sometimes, right?
There we go. Glittering Ashes. Final
Let's see-
game.
Let's see what happens to these guys. This is really important. The last game. There's no game 4, and unless we get a tie here, this is it. We have a Terran, so it's possible to get a tie. So,
That's true.
all right, guys.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
There you go, a cheeky win with a proxy. It is.
Deepu.
All right, at the bottom left, it is our red Protoss. It is.
Cyan.
Alright, guys. It's for all the marbles here. Who goes to the playoffs?
Yep. This is the playoffs game right here. Man, I wonder. Okay, I guess there's no cheese now because Deepu's not sending anything.
No cheese.
It's gotta be a regular macro game. Let's see.
Wow.
I would love to see
Yeah.
them do macro both.
Yeah, this looks like an SCV scout, so somewhat normal.
Yeah, it's very normal timing.
And look at the timing for them. It's about the same because they met, you know, almost halfway in the map. So
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna get blocked again here.
well, you might as well check up, and he's gonna check.
Yeah.
Okay, now
He's gonna check and then block it. Yeah, okay.
To see what's
I
out
see your
there,
gate.
Because if you do a block and then he's actually foregating you, you
Yeah.
never go check, you're in big trouble.
Yep.
So yeah, he's checking. He saw the gateway, and then he's like, "Alright,
Yeah,
that's good enough
I
for
would
me."
love to. I would love to see Cyan make his scout probe active instead of making it just stall there.
Yeah.
The main base of the Terran. I think he has his probe there. Okay, he's pulling it out. I think. Now he's scouting. Nice.
Yeah, what did he see? He saw normal stuff so far, but now there's a
Yeah.
second gas, and oh man, he's doing 3 racks, and this could be 3 racks Reaper.
Yeah.
And if you don't
You
know
know
how to deal
Deepu,
with
he
that,
loves his Reaper.
if you don't know how to deal with that, you're in big trouble, right? And Maligan, what did we say that Cyan
He's
doesn't
to
do?
do.
Shield
Yeah,
batteries. You need
shield
it for-
batteries.
you need it for you know, mass Reapers. This is 3 racks
Yeah.
Reaper, boys.
Yeah, a couple of a shield battery will just shut this down.
Oh man.
Well, as long as you have stalkers too. Oh no!
The one
What,
thing
what is
though
that? Is that a bunker?
Yeah, it's a
Oh, wait.
bunker.
Oh,
So
it's a bunker.
The only thing I don't like about this is if you had let the Protoss, make his Nexus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's it's good. They don't have as much money to do other things, and they won't rush units. But now you kind of force them
nice.
to rush, right?
Yeah.
And
The
then
good thing
the other
though
thing is, go ahead.
Mhm. Yeah, the good thing though that this block, if you notice, Cyan doesn't make extra stuff. He's pulling at 600 minerals. Oh, he's supply block. Oh, okay, there. Pylon's up.
Ooh, Oracle.
I guess he's... Well, this could catch Deepu off guard. Oh, there's a lot of the Reapers. Oh my gosh, he needs to have a shield battery. Shield battery.
What I was saying earlier is if you let him make a Nexus, then he won't have as much money with other.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
For defense, right? But because you kind of forced him, he rushed units. So
still, there you go. Finally, 2 shield batteries, but it's in the wrong place.
Oh, let's see how much damage.
Each one in the main. Oh, good thing the
Oracle's
here.
Can shoot easily.
Nice. He's gonna shut this down. Too weak.
Yeah, two probes for 2 Reapers, not good at all. 3 Reapers now. Deepu. Oh, not good, not good. So look at that. So Cyan got rushed with infantry down at the bottom, so he needs 2 shield batteries this time. But Reapers can hop up on the high ground, so he needs to hop up on the high ground. There's still no shield battery on the high ground, but he's going there, which he shouldn't. He needs
I think
to go.
Cyan's in good shape here.
Yeah.
Oh, don't lose the stalkers!
He needs to go hop on the high ground, and he's not. Like the home base has nothing.
I think he's afraid of the Oracle.
Yeah, and that makes sense. The Oracle is very scary because you can't even shoot up at it, right?
Now there's gonna be a Void Ray. Well, that should shut down that Reaper harass.
Indeed. We'll say nope, not try. Nice try. We're done here.
Yep. So the Reapers are going home.
Yeah, Reapers now at this point are just to scare him staying home. So now it's a race for macro, right? Which Deepu needed to make a tech lab so he can get stim, and he still hasn't done that, man. So that's okay. He just now does it, but he needs 2 of them so he gets shield the shields. What do you call that thing? Combat shields. And
combat shields.
So I think your job here now is just kind of keep him scared, and he doesn't attack.
Yeah, keep him
if
contained.
he attacks you, you might die. So his stim.
Look at that.
Late.
Yeah, look at the Deepu. Drop 4 turrets. Just to make sure.
And I'm okay with that, honestly.
Yeah, that's definitely okay if you don't want to deal with the Oracle.
Yeah, good job catching the probe here. So Cyan's economy is a little. Well,
he's way ahead in workers.
Yeah, he's ahead in workers, so that's good for him. He does have so much money too, so he's getting charged too. Man, that's deadly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bio coming his way though. So Cyan. And decent macro for Deepu. This is code A, guys, and
Deepu has stopped making SCVs too. Look at that.
Oh,
He's not even queuing SCVs.
He just did now. But
Oh, there you go.
Enough.
Finally, yeah.
It's a race, guys.
Look at that.
To produce the more stuff, and when there's enough bio, as Protoss, you better get some sort of AOE, and that's Size Storm or Colossus, which he did say is why he played Protoss, right? Right now, that's a little far because he went air, right? So the gas went to these Void Rays and the Oracle there, so he might get run over by his bio if he doesn't watch it. Man.
But I like this though. I mean, Cyan's expanding, which is great. He just
he's
needs
supposed to do this as this trap.
Yep, so
he
close.
He's surrounded. Once he's frozen, Protoss can surround him and just wait for the freeze.
Boom!
Oh, there you go. So now he's just gonna wait here, and just when this unfreeze happens, when he gets out of this stasis,
Man, imagine if you are the Reapers right now. You're frozen. You see all this Protoss in front of you.
You're like, well,
Oh
it's been nice,
shoot!
folks. You drop grenades like right away.
Oh, that's true.
Wow.
Drop grenade.
Well,
Ready.
he
Oh,
does
he
get to-
survived.
He's that fast.
He survived.
You know,
Yeah.
Cyan could have surrounded it though. He should have surrounded
Yeah,
it,
surrounded.
but he didn't. Now he. Oh my gosh! Look how many.
Oh boy.
This is a
There's
lot of bio, guys.
Bio.
Actually,
Yeah,
the
this is
army
deadly.
count is 5639. If Deepu goes right now,
It's Deepu making. Oh, okay.
oh,
Deepu's
there's
making
Templar
medivacs.
for and
there's
Psystorm's coming.
Templars.
Just started, so that's his hope. Deepu needs to push
Yeah.
out before Psystorm finishes, and I think he has a great chance of winning if he fights together, especially with these mines.
Yes,
As long as he
mines
doesn't-
too. Yep.
He doesn't take hits with the mines. He has 2 medivacs coming out. Combat shields coming up. +1 is about to finish, and if he goes like now, and he's going now, there's
Oh
not
boy.
even a
Here we
shield
go.
battery at his third base. I think Cyan's
He
sitting
definitely has
pretty.
more army.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cyan is sitting pretty, but oh, Psystorm's about to finish. Deepu, what did we say about being decisive? This is your last chance.
Yep. Here we go. It's all about control here.
Indeed.
For both.
Here we go. Oh,
Drop the mines.
man. He's gonna go in there. The longer it takes, Psystorm just finished.
Yeah, it's nice
And
ready.
they have
So,
at least 4 storms here. So I think he just lost his window to win.
yeah.
He just has
Cyan has good control too on his storm, so
Yep.
I've seen him use the storm, so I think
Yeah.
This is a bad thing for
was at
Deepu
one
now.
point a dynamic player, so I think
Yeah.
it might be one again. But Deepu here is taking too long, I think. I mean, Cyan
yeah.
is
Oh, look at that.
taking
Fourth
the 4th
base.
base. So it's all about this
Deepu
attack
still-
right here. It's all
Yeah.
about this attack. Where's the stim? There's no stim. Which he stimmed backwards, which is funny. Oh, good dodge on
Ooh.
the storm. There's 3 more storms coming,
Yeah.
so you need to know that. There's a
Ooh,
decent dodge.
nice.
Decent dodge.
Yeah,
'cause he
decent
didn't
dodge.
lose anything. He needs to heal though.
Interesting. Those medivacs aren't healing.
Yeah.
It's out of energy.
No, he has
There you go.
energy because he was moving, so he couldn't.
Yeah, because he was moving. Yeah, that's
Medevac's
right.
moving. I don't think they heal.
Yeah, Deepu is in all in here. Look at that. 2 base
He
all
is.
in. He's not even
definitely
looking.
all in, but that's actually what he needs to do because he's not gonna
Yeah.
win this now to try to catch up. And look at this double
Oh,
stim.
drop those mines,
Dude, he did a double stim. This is terrible. He needs to drop the mines like now. Oh man.
Good mine hits here.
Oh, decent mine hits. But he is heavily stimmed. I think he pressed stim like 3-4 times, so we're gonna have to talk to him about that eventually. But there's only 2 medivacs,
Ooh.
dude. This guy
He lost
hurt
his
himself
medivacs,
more.
too.
He hurt himself
Yeah.
more than the Protoss hurt him. By stimming.
Yep.
Yeah,
think it
and
was
the
a misclick
medivacs,
on his
they
part.
died somehow, probably from the mines, and these mines are
Ooh.
about to go off again.
Yeah.
And
Those
look at that.
Those Templars are lucky.
Yeah, they're very lucky.
Oh.
Oh, they go
Hits
the
by
wrong way.
the.
There's 4
Yeah.
bases for Protoss, man.
Yeah, this is not
This is
good for
terrible.
Deepu.
More medivacs.
But those
Okay. Oh,
those void rays are so weak. Look at that.
they are.
Ah. A good thing there's turrets back
You
there.
know, the thing is with I bet you Deepu's gonna stim his whole forces. This is actually when you want to stim, but he doesn't stim because he saw that how weak his forces are.
Yeah. Yeah, Deepu is way behind, man. Almost half the workers of Cyan.
Yeah, Deepu has a lot of mines here on the right side, kind of not doing anything. He has mines
Yeah.
here too. Oh, maybe he'll catch. Never mind. I thought he was gonna catch these void rays on the retreat. Deepu just lifted his command center. He is so far behind, guys. I mean, his army is still gigantic, but the longer this game goes, the better it is for Cyan, who's also doing a double upgrades. So, and you know, actually Deepu's still doing upgrades. Here it is. He's gonna try to push again. He left the mines at home, and he's gonna push again. So.
Yeah, look at that. Cyan is floating at 1,700 minerals.
Here's the
Good bait,
chase.
good bait. Ooh!
Yeah, it actually hit him instead. He has to run, and he's stimmed to death
Yeah.
here, man.
Too much Protoss at this point.
Yeah. The thing is, he's also very weak. He's done more damage to himself, as I said, by stimming.
Yeah.
So it's slow death here for Deepu. Oh my gosh. Look how weak these Marines are, man. 5 health.
Yeah.
There's some
Oh
medivacs.
no, Cyan's gonna see Deepu's expansion.
Yeah, he is definitely gonna run into that if he goes.
Gonna cancel that.
At least he ran into it where he can cancel it. So he
Look at how many
cancel it.
Templars there is, man.
It's time to cancel, Deepu. No cancel. Oh man, he is so flustered right
There's like
now.
16 Templars.
Yeah, I think the power of Protoss is here.
Yeah, this is just gonna be a crazy storm fest right here.
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
Bam! Oh, nope.
And he's gonna lose his one of
Yeah,
two bases.
this is only
Second base. That's it.
expansion that's...
Yeah.
Oh, nice pick on that prison.
Nice pick on the prism, but you know, I have a feeling.
Yeah, it's just too much Protoss right there.
And
he's
Deepu's not
leaving
gonna
his
go
base!
there. Yeah, he's figured, you know what, let me go attack. I have these mines, maybe you can buy me time.
Yeah. Maybe
he's
force
gonna go
the
here.
Protoss to go back.
Yeah, he needs to go in.
Wish Deepu would have used the advantage of Terra, which is mobility. Drop ships.
Yeah.
He never used the drop ships.
Yeah, Deepu had, really...
There we go. Send it to the main. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Oh.
send it here, which is okay too, but the Void Race is not going to make an end to this. And we should see him tap out when he loses his medivacs here. He has one base, guys. One base
Yeah.
versus probably 5.
Yep.
And yeah, he's
This is
gonna
it.
tap out.
GG right there.
This is it, boys and girls.
Simon.
Good thing that the Oracle popped out just in time, huh, for those pesky Reapers.
Exactly. So let's
That
chat with
saved
these
actually
guys.
Cyan.
Let's definitely undeafen and unmute them. Well, there you go. Good game, gentlemen. We had a really weird slugfest here. It was very, and let's start with Deepu. Deepu, man, you were ahead in game 1 for sure. You didn't know this, but you're actually way ahead. But you happened to move out right when he hit you. Tell us about game 1, because the stalkers and the blink and the reinforcements, you were just out of place.
Yeah, I think it was a mix. I was out of place, and my stim pack was like 4 seconds from being done. And then I think if I had that, I maybe would have won that. My siege tank was on the low ground. I didn't bring it up.
Yep.
I don't really know what happened there.
Yeah, you moved.
And then I didn't see where his army was after I scanned, and so I thought he built a 3rd base and was defending that, and not moving out.
I see. That makes sense.
I see.
But that's
Yeah.
that's the wrong read. If his army is not there, you probably just stay at home.
Yeah,
probably,
And maybe just send a marine.
No, it's
to
coming.
Look around. You definitely had game 1, I think, because you were way ahead in army and econ and better.
Yeah, economy.
Really, just better army, right? He just happened to hit you at the perfect time. So he stole game 1 from you, but game 2 you stole from him. Tell us about that build, man. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually saw that build on the same map with the same way on by Criminal on his last game.
Yeah.
So just
there you go. Someone
see if it would
stole
work
something
again.
from Criminal. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that's what happened there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very good build. Actually, I don't remember that game too much, but ET Phone Home asked me, did I get inspiration from Criminal? I'm like, hell no. And I said, you got, but you did. So nice job. Nice job. You took that. Now game 3, man, that was so scary for either of you. Either of you could have died at any point.
Yeah.
But I felt like you overstimmed there the first time you attacked. You stimmed once, twice, 3 times before Protoss was even able to do any damage to you. In fact, you could have won, but you just waited too long, and his storm finished.
Yeah.
Stormfish,
Yeah.
you had a
Stormfish.
huge
You think if I
army.
went in early, I would have won that? Really?
Yes,
Yeah, you would have
absolutely.
won that early.
You need to watch the VOD. You definitely would have won because he didn't have any storm. Once storm's in play, you're in trouble. But it was a good plan. How come you didn't go earlier? Just curious.
Well, I saw him get a couple Void Rays, and then the Oracle, and the Oracle like ticked in my mind. I was like, oh, okay, he's gonna go try and like go in my base and like kill some workers. But the worker killing attack didn't come until like 12 minutes with the 4 Void Rays there at the end. So I was just waiting. I was like, oh, I'll wait till he goes in with a Void Ray or 2, and then I'll surprise him with the Marines, and then I'll go in and win the game. So it was just another misread, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a misread. But I liked your plan. It's a 2-base all-in. It was very strong. You were in the lead for most of that first half of that game, right? Enough to win and crush his army. However, everything changes once Storm shows up, right? He had 4 Storms, and that's it. He just clean you up. But it was good showing. Any words for this season for you and what you're looking forward to in the off season? Are you gonna watch any of the playoff games to prepare? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Next season, maybe I'll play a different race than Terran. I'm getting kind of bored of Terran, I'm not gonna lie.
Your
So
Protoss is
that's the
pretty
goal
good.
for next season. Play something else.
Yeah, your Protoss is really good.
Yeah, your Protoss.
Oh, alright,
is
maybe
pretty
I'll
good.
try that.
Yeah. So anyway, nice job. It was good seeing you. Like I said, you're one of my favorite players to watch.
Thank you.
And from one potential Protoss to a current Protoss, Cyan, congratulations. How do you feel, man?
Welcome to the playoffs.
Feel good. I feel good. That second game really got me, and I just need to start vetoing that map against Terran. I hate that build.
Yeah.
Actually, it's one of my favorite as a Protoss because I usually do Starport play on that. It's so close.
Yeah, and I had actually thought about that. I told myself I should just open up with a Stargate and go from there, but I didn't for some reason. I don't know why, but that's why I opened up with it in the third game.
Yeah.
Well, you ended up winning, and he scared you. That's for sure, and that's what Deepu does, right? So, what's your words of advice for Deepu? Even though this is the first time you took a series from him, so congrats on that. But do you have any advice for him?
Yeah, just keep practicing and playing. I mean, if you want to get to Code S, you've got to grind. I mean, those guys in Code S are really good. I found out firsthand last season how good they really are.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank
you, GG's.
Good
luck,
Deepu.
Cyan.
We'll see you next season.
Yep. See you next season.
Cyan, congrats. We'll see you.
Thank you.
In the playoffs.
And bad luck to you tonight. I am pulling for Hyper Turtle and the Tortoise and Hare to sweep both of their games because then the Purifiers get in.
That's right. That is the next,
that's right.
That's the next games there. Let's show. Actually, Cyan, if you are interested, you can co-cast that with Sir Maligan.
Oh, I can't. What's the game next? Because I really need to leave probably around 8:30.
Yeah, 8:30. Well, Seth is supposed to be back, so Cyan, if you're interested, let us know. But anyway, we'll take a break here while we figure out. But the next round of games is the 2v2 matches. Tortoise and Hare versus GG Izzy is coming up next, and then the last game will be Tortoise and Hare versus Little Dom, which is myself. So.
Little Dom.
So,
yep. Hopefully by then. Okay. All right.
Well, we'll be back for that next match. So we'll take a break. We'll see you guys in a bit.
All right.
so the two Void Rays are gonna try to sandwich while the front attacks. Okay, let's see how this works out because
Not to mention intercept reinforcements.
yeah, and here's the reinforcements too for Deepu. Here's the timing here. He's gonna time it now. Void Ray's gonna take out the tank. He does take a Void Ray out.
Yeah, but he moved them away from the tank. That's what he really wanted.
Yeah, Deepu lost both tanks, and that's how he would break this shield battery setup here. And I think he's gonna back off. He has a third base coming in. Yeah, and Bio, you cannot beat Bio without any, unless you have overwhelming numbers. At least at this size, without Storm or Disruptors or Colossus. So, the tanks are slowly moving in.
Those field batteries.
This is good. He's kiting him back. Storm is still not done.
It's a lot of damage output. The Marines
Yeah,
especially.
he only has one Templar, so really he only has one Storm. The shield battery may go down. There's a run by the Zealots trying to
He takes
protect
that
the
one
tank.
tank, but
He does. This is looking real good for Deepu. The super battery overcharge may not matter, guys.
yeah, not with those Marines.
This is the power of the bio
And
push
this
that
deal all becomes try to keep them one for. Deepu wants to keep them close to the siege tanks. Archaic wants to keep the action close to the batteries, but I think it's over.
He's a little careless with his tanks, but it may not matter because there's only 4 supply of army here for the Archaic. There you go. You can just push in there. That's not enough.
Warping in, but they're going to die pretty quickly, and
Yeah,
Templars
it's
have to
easy
charge up
supply,
before they
man.
can storm. At best, he can cast a couple of feedbacks, right? Yep.
That's it.
All right,
There you
Seth,
go.
hit it. GG.
All right, we got a tie game, guys.
Interesting. I like it.
That's what you gotta do if you're Deepu. He produces pretty well, right? So.
But there's a drop here. He's not gonna drop these either. That's too many tanks, too many Vikings. Yeah,
Ooh.
good scan. That's a scary fortified position there. You don't want to walk in there. But look at this. He's gonna
there you
go for it.
Drop. Oh, nice. That's nice.
Yeah, this is a good drop because it takes out what 5 tanks and then able to now kill these units. Yeah, Freedom is kind of wary of bringing his units in because he knows there's a set of units just pouncing. And look at that, 15 workers killed. Oh, that's very painful.
Yeah.
More units are not, look at him. He's surrounding Freedom all over the map here. He's coming from the left side and the right side.
Yeah, that's just too much.
Yeah, I think he's just
Vikings,
gonna land.
there you go, the land. There you go.
And he's gonna clean up here. No, he's not. He is not gonna clean up. Look at Ghost Chat. His supply drops all the way down to 115. And he's gonna forfeit this base. He's just gonna need to lift it up now. He has his own Thor Snow, but like what you said, Freedom's mech is much more upgraded. And he drops a Thor right on top of the other tanks. Alright, so let's see who cleans up here. Okay, the Vikings are gonna land right next to the other tanks as well. And so this is yes, he's
The
gonna clean
repair?
up here. It's gonna repair. So Goshan is losing ground here very slowly. Alright, so Freedom gets wind of that side attack, positions his tanks accordingly already. Yeah, look at these Thors. They just look at none of them. It looks like it was evenly distributed on all the damage, so none of them fell. So Goshan is just losing out on the efficiency battle here.
But look at KJ. KJ losing some tanks. Oh no.
Oh no, it was still in the process of sieging.
Oh.
Loses 4 right away. But looks like he's gonna clean up the marauders and gives him access to this base. He's gonna be able to pick this off, maybe, perhaps. Yeah, this is just action-packed all over the place. And you know, ever since we started the early attack, it just hasn't stopped since then.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is good for me. Oh, that medevac though. Good thing he doesn't have air attack.
Yeah, he's gonna clean this up now. Gives him access to take out this rich Vespine Geyser base. But there are more tanks here. Yeah, but they are unsieged. But still, their upgrades are really on point. So if you look at the upgrades here, 3-3 for bio and +3 attack. Oh, good jump here for Ghost Chat. I
Oh,
think
nice.
he's gonna clean this up, maybe? No, there are more tanks behind there. We didn't see the one in the back with the 4 of them. And I think that 4 provided coverage there. Then it's just a back and forth. It's a heavyweight battle going back and forth here. SCVs to this 3 o'clock, but it's been found by this double Hellion, which,
Oh no.
you know what? He does not have Blue Flame. He does make him into a Hellbats, but he does not have Blue Flame.
Right.
The rest of the units are frantically trying to make their way there to try to defend this. This is Ghost Chan's last hope for a base, and I think it's gonna get picked up. Is it?
Yep. I think this is game 1.
Wait, actually he might clean up here? No, he won't. The Yamato cannons actually proved the difference. Wiped out 3 of the Vikings right away, and I think that would be it. Look at the supply difference. And once the battle cruisers make their way across here, the thing is, yeah, they're gonna go while being repaired. There are more Hellions. It does not have Blue Flame though. It could have spent that Blue Flame upgrade. But I think this will be it. The Vikings are trying to chip away at these battle cruisers, but these cattle bruisers, some say, they're tough to kill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the warps in to consolidate their armies together, and there it is, GG, and I forgot to do their GG.
What a game.
An adventurous group here. I don't know how much is gonna get done. There's only 1 tank here, but there are units here that's ready to
on the way,
pounce.
including the Liberator.
Liberator is not sieging up,
Whoa.
however.
Okay.
There it is.
There we go. Alright. Keeps that tank preserved, and that's the time to hit where he's not, but he's got plenty, and like I failed to see earlier,
Well, he needs to
that's a
siege
lot
these
of
tanks first
anti-air
of
there.
all. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna get thwarted. And look at the supply. Mizel takes a...
Mazel's taking the lead.
And is he gonna... Yeah, so here's the discipline with Mech, right? You win that battle, but you do not want to overextend. And I think Mizel, if he goes out, tries to overextend here, and he gets surrounded, he loses his advantage. He wants to take this easy, slowly. Don't overextend in this area. Just siege your tanks from a little bit far away. Have some backup
Siege
siege.
your tanks, set up your liberation zones.
Exactly.
Siege those tanks, definitely siege those tanks.
Nice, but look, yeah, he can just back off here, take this one out. Yeah, but yeah, this is where you're getting
Feels
greedy.
like more damage than he needed to take.
Yeah, you don't need to take this all the way up here. This is what I'm talking about with mech, right? Siege your tank, just inch forward.
Yeah. Plan
Yeah.
down each step you take.
Yeah.
But, to his
he's gonna
credit,
lose his
Mazel
tank.
still has the supply lead.
Yeah, he does have the supply lead. He can land
Whoa.
this. Is he gonna?
We're back now with, we're gonna stop this. We have Seth here. The next 2v2 match. Alright. Are we ready, Seth? Feeling
What's
good?
up? What's up? So before we get started in the 2v2, give me a Cliff Notes version of what happened in the very pivotal Code A match that we just had.
Sure. So, Seth is just coming back, so he missed it. He's usually our host. But basically what happened, game 1, Deepu had a nice lead. You know, he had tanks. It was a very late Blink Stalker attack by Cyan. But he's very lucky because he was out on the map, Deepu was. So he got into his production and just won from there. So he was just out of position. So the game 1 goes to Cyan. Game 2, Deepu did a proxy Marauder push cheese, and Cyan just didn't have enough. In fact, he forgot his warp gate. He only had one gateway, so he died. And then game 3, 2 base all in by Deepu, but he went too late. Storm was available. So he would have won easily, but he went too late. He kind of took his time. And that's pretty much it. He was too far behind. That's what
Okay,
happened.
so updating our scores here. Cyan with a victory,
Yeah.
with a 2-1, and Deepu losing that battle, which was essentially a playoff game for both of them.
Yeah.
And so, if we look at the standings really quickly, this should actually complete the Code A standings here for the playoffs. And
That's right. There you go.
yeah, so let's
Turn
update
4.
our.
All right. Well, we're hopping on now to our next match. It's 2v2
Yeah.
Tortoise and Hare versus GG Izzy. And so let's bring him in here for some
let's
interviews.
Right.
Bridget, we're in lobby.
There
Joining
it is.
us now, we have our players for a pretty important 2v2. Not as important for GG Izzy, but a very important one for Tortoise and Hare. We've got Tortoise and Hare going against GG Izzy, and our players are here. Good evening, gentlemen. Let's start with Tortoise and Hare. Tonight's a busy night for you guys. How do you like these double headers for evenings?
Not a fan, but we're gonna get through.
Always makes babysitting a little bit complicated as far as the arrangements go, but yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a pretty important matchup here. I think you guys just need to win one of these
Well,
matches.
we win one match,
right?
we're in for sure, and if
We're
we
in
win
for sure.
one map, I think we're in as well. So
Yeah, the
we
one
can't
map.
get skunked.
Yeah, the one map. You don't want to bet your house on that one map. So I think you have to win 2 maps. So maybe 1 map on each game.
Yeah.
But to make it easier, just win one of the matches, and it doesn't matter anymore, right?
Yeah, I think if we beat Little Dom, then Cyan gets in. So I think the Purifiers make it if we beat them. So
that's right.
It's a confusing night. It's like one of those NFL days where like there's 15 different matchups that are possible. So we'll play the games and we'll figure it out pretty quick.
My daughter will be waking me up for Saturday morning Disney Channel cartoons, and I'll be asking her, "What happened? What did I do?"
But I mean, we got lucky with these schedules because typically in the NFL, they backload the division games until the very end, so that's how you get these really crucial matchups. And we got lucky with some of these games. But what do you guys? I mean, the first game you guys are facing against GG Izzy. Right now, as it stands, they're the number 1 seed. You can dethrone them from the number 1 seed. What do you guys think about your chances tonight?
Both matchups, I think, we're the underdog. It's weird because if you look at it on paper, I think we're the weakest or the second weakest team in the 2v2 division. But
you mean just based on combined MMR?
Yeah, but we punch above our weight class. I mean, so it's possible, but these guys are both pretty good. So
yeah. So my last question for you guys. Is this going to be a case where you're going to put all your eggs in one basket to defeat Little Dom, so not to reveal anything tonight and save it for the next game? But at the same time, you guys pretty much have a strat that everybody knows. So what?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been spending the whole season revealing our strategies. So if they pick it apart, that's the way things are going to be, and we're just going to play as solid as possible.
I think solid play. We've got a few wrinkles, hopefully for Little Dom, but this matchup, we better play straight up as we can. Neither of us are very good improvisers, so they have to beat us at our game, and if they do, then we're going to lose. And if we try to get too fancy, our MMR drops quite a bit. We've lost 300-400 MMR the last couple days, so didn't go so well.
Gotcha. All right, now let's talk to GG Izzy. You guys are comfortably in the playoffs, but you guys are still battling for the number 1 seed. And winning it tonight will give you the number 1 seed. Losing it, you still don't lose it, but it's not a good prospect. How important is this number 1 seed for you guys, or you're just going to wing it and see how it goes?
So we got a plan. It's not very in depth, but yeah, we're trying to win, trying to hold on to our first place spot. Yeah.
So is it more you want the seeding for the best possible matchup or more bragging rights? Because I know you guys will see each other more. Which one of the
Yes.
two is more important for you guys?
So I think we're prioritizing the first place spot. We don't really have any beef with um the team here. So, yeah.
Beef. Dark Menace, what do you say about that?
I mean, I'm talking about Kodayo in terms of bragging rights to get the number 1 seed because you know you guys are kind of fighting against them. You guys beat them already, but would it sting if they get the number 1 seed?
Oh, I see, I see. They can have the first place seed if they want. We're still gonna beat them.
All right, we got that on clip. Any other questions, KJ, before we get started?
Well, Dark Menace is quiet. Tell us about this, the matchup against Hyper Turtle and War Bunnies here. What do you think about tonight's matchup?
Yeah.
You have no thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. It's gonna be like an act of Congress to try to get something out of Dark Menace.
But, Sep, Neutrophil did give us some bulletin board material, but that's for the next game in the playoffs. They still have to worry about this current team here, which is one thing I liked that War Bunnies brought up is that they punch above their weight, which proves the 2v2 is not just because you're good at SC2 1-on-1. It's about teamwork. And it shows that, hey, if they are, individually one-on-ones, maybe they're not as good. But teamwork, they just go and win games. Because the other thing that they did bring up, too, is everyone knows their strategy. And look, they're still in the playoffs as a top 2, possibly top 3. But they could possibly take the 2nd seed, right? Maybe even
that
first.
is true.
Yeah, so that just shows you that the 2v2 game is mostly about how you coordinate with your teammates. And so I think it's an exciting component here, and we get to start it off here with a bang with this playoff push.
All right, and let's get it going. We'll talk to you guys after the match. You guys can go to your respective channels. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's get this going. Let's move Hyper Turtle. Oh, he already moved. And all right, before we get started and before you go on mute here, KJ, who do you got in this match and what's the score?
2-0. Just because they're too strong. GG Izzy.
Gotcha. All right.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
Alright, introducing our players here on the top right corner of Nightscape. We got our orange Protoss. Oh.
Game paused.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
Alright, so while I sort this issue, guys, why don't you talk about this matchup and what you think?
Alright. So I think it'll be 2-0 if Hyper Turtle and War Bunnies cannot handle the mid-game timing or early to mid-game attack by Dark Menace and Neutrophil. But once it gets to their ideal composition, I think at that point anybody can take it, right? It could just be one engagement and your army gets decimated, and then you look up, there's still 10 carriers, and then from then on you lose. So I think it just really hinges on the first few minutes, I think 5 to 8 minutes maybe. If they are even and they get their macro going and they survive, I think War Bunnies and Hyper Turtle have a good shot. But otherwise, I think Dark Menace and Neutrophil can take it if they just have a really good timing setup.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready. We just had an issue with the player intros. They're all ready now.
Okay, let's make sure players are ready. Got 1, 2. There we go. 3, 2, 1.
Game
All right,
resumed.
let's try this again. On the top right corner, playing Protoss, he is
Dark Menace.
and his teammate is well, not this one, the purple one. He is,
Neutrophil.
and their team is called
GG. Easy.
So it's a play on the GG. It's easy, so it's a pretty cool name. And their opponents spawning on the bottom left corner, the blue Protoss. Yeah.
War Bunny.
And his teammate, the green Zerg. Yes.
Hyper Turtle.
And their team is called
Turtis and Hair.
Okay, so there was an idea of blocking there for Dark Menace, but he just canceled it. And this actually, I guess it's forcing Hyper Turtle to go pull first, because they can't get their expansion, his expansion up, so they really delayed it. But with the pull first, he's able to get the queen. He's probably gonna make a couple of links here once he gets the larva. Oh no, he's gonna make drones. No links yet. I think he could have made it, but he's gonna skip out since he already got his expansion. He's just gonna drone up. So let's see here. War Bunnies is the person that's gonna go air, but he's gonna need his expansion. He's actually prepping for this expansion. Hyper Turtle is actually looking around for any proxies, any shenanigans that might come their way. There's none. Dark Menace is going Adepts. Actually, both of them are going Adepts. Neutrophil's Adept control is very solid. And so, if you're not careful, you could lose a mineral line of workers quickly. He shades very well. Well, that's Protoss is his best race. I don't know about Dark Menace if he has practiced the Adept as well, or they could probably just have made 2 of them and let Neutrophil control both of them. That could have been an option as well, but it's a proxy. It's the ninja base for Neutrophil. I was gonna say Neutrophil has not expanded, but true to his nature, he's been taking these ninja bases often these days. Alright, a quick scout there. Sees just a basic wall off and no second expansion for the purple's Protoss. So, let's see. War Bunnies, the same strat. He's gonna go air. Void Rays are production. He actually delayed that Nexus very pretty far back to be able to prioritize getting a Void Ray out. Yeah, to make sure you don't die to any quick ones. But I think you only save a few seconds of the Void Ray. I think you could have still gotten that Nexus after. You can do it after Cyber, and then still get the Void Ray out. But here's the Adept pressure. It's gonna get 1 probe real quick. Shades out, and this is Dark Menace's Adept, and he gets picked off. Another one scouts the third base by the Zerg. And the Zerg is going to try to catch that Adept. And if you look at the third base, there is a Warp Prism coming for Dark Menace. But that Adept by Dark Menace on the third base of the Zerg is going to get picked off. No, he shades away and is faster than these roaches. So it's gonna shade down safely. Alright, so where are we here? War Bunnies did make 2 Stalkers just in case, to make sure they can defend any all-ins. And he's actually gonna break these rocks down. Maybe he can take the third. Now, I don't like these ninja bases by Neutrophil. I mean, I guess it's trying to confuse your opponents to think that you're doing all-in, right? But in this 2v2. They're gonna prepare for all-in. They're gonna do the middle ground. And so you're risking the fact that if they scout that that ninja base, it's gonna be forfeit so easily. And so it's not worth that risk. I think you just take your natural and play from there. You know, it's a good idea if you're getting sieged and you really can't take your expansion, and you can hide it and then get your mining that way. But that is not the case here. This is a case on. He's gonna be hit. Oh, these roaches are in the middle. They're on the wrong side of the battle here. They're gonna get picked off by all of these. There's a couple immortals, several stalkers, some zealots, and I think the roaches were just too far out. They were out of position. I don't know why Hyper Turtle decided to leave them there. So he lost all of those roaches. They are not reacting to this. All right, so they're gonna back up a little bit. The Void Rays are there. There is a shield battery, but I don't know. There's a lot of. I think if the Void Rays prioritize and taking out the Stalkers, they can win the battle for the rest of the units. And looks like that's what they're gonna do. Takes out one of the Stalkers really quickly. Yeah, this doesn't look good. This is what I'm talking about. A quick attack before the 8-minute mark, and looks like they're gonna fall here. They're not. They weren't ready for this attack, and I think also contributed the fact that Hyper Turtle lost about 6-7 roaches in the middle of the map right off the bat. Without those roaches to tank for the zealots and the stalkers, the Void Rays are just gonna get picked off easily, and that's it. GG. I think that was just a misposition there by Hyper Turtle. It makes this game quicker than it should have been.
GG.
But GG Izzy takes a 1-0 lead.
Dark Menace. Neutrophil.
Alright, we're gonna jump into game number 2 here. It's gonna be Roscallion. And let's see what kind of... I mean, the adjustment for Hyper Turtle really is just make sure you're not out of position with those units. And those units could have been really helpful in that attack. Alright, let's set up the lobby. Get our players in. Yeah, and so during the pregame, and I was talking about it, this is what I was afraid of for Tortoise and Hare. They just need to make sure they survive past the 8-minute mark, get their macro going, get their engine going, and then get to their composition that they, that they thrive in. And if they get there, then they have a good shot on possibly winning those games. But if they can't, they need to make sure they survive together. So they had trouble in that first game. Let's see if they can tighten the ship and take us to game number 3. But game number 2 is starting. It's going to be Roscallion 2v2, Tortoise and Hare versus GG Izzy.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
Alright, bottom right corner. The green Zerg. He is.
Hyper Turtle.
And his teammate. The blue Protoss.
War Bunnies.
And their team is called
Tortoise and Hare.
And their opponents on the top left corner, starting with the red Protoss. He is
Neutrophil.
And his teammate, the orange Protoss. And their
Dark
team is called
Menace. GG Izzy.
Alright, so same opener here for GG Izzy. The difference for Tortoise and Hare is Hyper Turtle was able to go hatch first this time. Got it down before the block. Let's see if War Bunny's able to get down the Nexus faster this time. He really delayed that in last game. I really want to see his build order and what happened there. But that came down a lot later than usual. And I think you can still do that and not really delay your Void Ray that much. But let's see what kind of adjustments he has here. Actually, how come... Yeah, his Cyber is a lot later than Dark Menace's. Cyber for War Bunnies is just started, and the Cyber for both players in GG Izzy is almost fast halfway done. So I wonder what happened there. Why is his a lot delayed? So I'd like to see their build order maybe after this game. But his Cyber is a lot later, which means his tech of choice, which we all know is going to be a Stargate, it's going to be later as well. Yeah, I wonder what happened there. Maybe he got supply blocked? Alright, so Stalkers right off the bat for War Bunnies. That's why he delays his Nexus, because he makes the first 2 Stalkers right away. And Hyper Turtle makes his Zerglings right away. And so, yeah, this is the... I think these are things that they can improve upon. Because if they scout, and they scout them, send and probe, just kind of going back and forth up there, and they see both Nexuses go up, there's no need to rush those 2 Stalkers, right? You can get your Nexus as soon as possible. And I think him delaying his Nexus and putting a Forge, and I think they're going to get more defensive here. And at the same time, DG Easy is actually just macroing. You know, that doesn't bode well for them. Now, War Bunnies is still at a healthy 24 probe count. I mean, he's still behind the other 2 Zergs. It's 25 now, so he's not that far behind. But his Nexus is a lot later. So, you know, if you look at the Nexus of the GG Easy team, both of theirs are done already. And War Bunnies is still 3/4 completion. And so in this, you know, these type of games, it's kind of a race, right? It's just like who gets to a certain point faster. And you know, look at Neutrophil and Dark Menace, they're just humming along and getting their build orders down. But if they get defensive and they do deflect a lot of these aggressions by GG's in the beginning, and they can get to their ideal composition, you know, maybe that is the way to go. He does need to transfer some probes down. He's fully saturated on his main base. War Bunnies is. But we've got Blink here for Neutrophil, a Twilight for Dark Menace. I think he's gonna go Charge Slot again. There it is. And so it's Charge Slots, Immortals. And let's see if they're gonna hit a timing here. It was a Observer first for Dark Menace. Make sure he can scout when they come down. But I don't think Tortoise and Hare is gonna be planning to move out or attack anytime soon. There is that one Ling that scouts. And just scouts that there were 3 Adepts up there. But yeah, that was the importance of having that probe scout, and just to find out if your opponents are taking their bases, their naturals, on a regular timing, or they delayed it. And if they delayed it, that's when you start bracing for impact, right? But if you had the probe there and you saw that both of them started at the same time, the Nexuses, then you would have probably skipped some of those defensive structures in the beginning, or skip that extra Stalker and get your Nexus down a lot faster. Alright, but here we are. Dark Menace is sending down a few Adepts shading in. There is a lot of units here, so I think they're safe in the front lines. But if the Adepts bypass the front wall, do they have enough to clean it up? So let's see. Second Stargate's on the way. Hydralisk then for Hyper Turtle. So yeah, so I think I think they're gonna survive the initial stage, maybe. As I say that, Neutrophil's moving out. And Dark Menace is warping in more. Third base here for Neutrophil. It's a kind of a ninja, but if you're gonna do a ninja, might as well take it on the top right. But these Void Rays are out of position, similar to what happened to Hyper Turtle with his roaches. And these stalkers have blink. Uh-oh. I think they're in trouble. Those 2 Void Rays were necessary for this defense. He's just gonna have to evacuate the third base. He needs to get everything out. No, but Hyper Turtle is gonna try to commit without the coordination of his teammate. His teammate is kind of body blocked all the way to the top of the ramp. And all of the Lynx have already fallen. And I think this is not enough to defend. The Lynx can't even get down there. Yeah, I think this is it. I mean, I don't think this is enough for the Tortoise and Hare team to be able to take this out. There's just too much damage potential here for GG Izzy. There's even a Warp Prism. Another Warp Prism for Dark Menace in the back lines. They can just keep warping here. And I think that was a quick game. I think both games were attributed to units that were just kind of out of position. And also, the Lynx kind of just went down there by themselves. And they just got massacred before even had War Bunnies get a chance to engage. But with that was it. Quick 2-0. Just like Freedom's prediction. And let's do a quick interview with our players here. Good games, gentlemen. Quicker than I expected. And congratulations to GG Izzy. That secures your #1 seed for the playoffs. You can actually put it in there and you can see where your schedule is. But let's start with Tortoise and Hare. I think both games, I can pinpoint when it went south, and both of them was when some of your units were kind of just out there in the middle of the map and were out of position. So in the first game, I think there were 7 roaches that got surrounded. They were in the middle of the map. And then when they attacked, the roaches could have helped out. And then the second game, the 2 Void Rays...
Yeah, they were I was trying to get the prism before. Maybe it was out in front.
We were too far behind in macro. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Either game.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, the first game,
guys...
I think so. The second game, I think if I would have had those Void Rays, it would have been much tougher. I think they still would have overrun us. But
Maybe.
But I think you guys had a good setup, and I think the Lynx kind of went by themselves first. There were a ton of Lynx. And if the Lynx engage with War Bunny's units, I think you guys would have fared better. And of course, the 2 Void Rays. But it's like, no, #1, no Void Rays. #2, the Lynx fought by themselves for a good 3-4 seconds. And by that time, War Bunnies came down there, the Lynx were pretty much gone. And so those small things, but I think you guys could have defended that and been able to transition to your ideal comp, right?
It would. These guys are both tough. I think that their macro. We probably shouldn't have tried that third base. I didn't realize Hyper Turtle had taken it. We can't. I don't think we can overextend. I know it's hard as a 2-base Zerg, but I don't think either of these teams are going to let us. They're going to hit us at the exact same 5:30 timing, 5:40 timing. And we've got to be ready both times. And I don't think we were in either of the games, so I think that's... I know the same thing's going to happen. You're going to see a mirror matchup of this game 2, Series 2, so we'll see if we can hold it any better.
Yeah. So let me disagree with you about falling too far behind. You guys did fall behind because your Nexus was super late. You guys saw, as Joseph pointed out during observing, you guys saw that they did put the Nexus down, and that means they're not rushing you guys, which means you gotta put your Nexus down like right away, so you can cancel your... So you fell behind, but you actually caught up, right, Seth? At one point, you had more workers, so you actually macroed pretty well out of that. I was surprised. So that's one thing. Which I think you have something about that, War Bunnies. Go ahead before I go to the second point.
Well, so the Nexus behind it, the later Nexus is actually part of what I'm trying to do. It's not ideal, but I feel like at that 5-minute timing, I need to have. It's tough because I'm slow, but I need to have a certain like. We have a Masters player in my team, and he wouldn't put down. I have to put down more static D. That could have been an extra. The two cannons should have been extra stalkers, but I find that I'll lose track of them, and that's happened both games where I lost track of a couple units, and it just missing them really hurts.
Yeah. All right. Well, the second point on my thing there was you're afraid Zerg can't get a third hatchery, but I disagree as a Zerg player. I think you can get a third hatchery as long as you're producing stuff from it. Often, Seth and I will play ladder. I'll always have a third base, and from there I produce 50% more. But I really shouldn't be giving you too many tips because you guys are playing us next.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that game, if you watch it, right? Neutrophil actually had a third base already up and running as well.
Yeah.
And with him having that as a Zerg, you should already have that as well. But I think you guys just kind of started off the blocks a little bit later. You guys were afraid for some all-in the beginning that never came, and from then on, right?
Yeah.
It was just you were just trailing the whole time. But like what KJ said, you guys did caught up. I think those 2 Void Rays could have helped defended that. The Lings, there were a ton of Lings there. And I think if you surrounded them and then the Stalkers came down at the same time and with the Void Race, I think you guys would have held that. And we would have gotten to that mid to late game that you guys wanted.
Yes.
And we'll never know what happens.
You have to be down there, by the way. You have to be down there on the third base. You can't stream from the top. I know that's where your static defense is.
Right,
You guys
that's
got choked up.
I absolutely held him up there. That was on me. I noticed that midway through the fight. I'm like, I'm up on top of the ramp.
Yeah.
And I tried to move through because I didn't, like I said, we talked earlier about only going 2 base, and then he had the third base, which probably is correct, but then I should have had a different wall. It's kind of a fluid motion, so.
It's okay.
Well, if that had been an actual surround, like if we'd both been attacking them at once, me from behind and you up ahead, that would have been nice.
Yeah, that's another trick.
So we'll try that again.
Yeah, that's another trick you can do with
Night's still not over.
Yeah. So, it's not too bad. I mean, they are the number 1 seed, right? So, it'd be pretty hard for you to, just expect to dominate them. You guys just barely could not defend because you lost units early, right? And that's the problem. So, anyway, it was a good try. You did.
So the good thing is,
yeah.
Well, the good thing is that if you're gonna lose the 2 games tonight, it's rather the GG Izzy game. Now the next one is the important one.
That one makes us go. I think if we lose, we don't go. If we go 2-0, we don't go to the playoffs. So I'd like to win at least one. Yeah.
If you go 0-2, then yes, then you guys will be out of the playoffs. If you win 1 game, you know what? Let's figure it out.
Yeah, we do.
Let's figure it out after, because this is really funny. Because we don't... Anyway, let's chat with the winners real quick. We'll go back to War Bunnies and Hyper Turtle anyway.
In a second. Yep.
Yeah.
So the question for GG Izzy. So Neutrophil, you really like those ninja bases all the way, but it seems that people that you've been playing against, both 1v1, 2v2, haven't caught on that you're always having a ninja base. Do you think you're gonna get away with that more in the playoffs, or what's the deal with that ninja base?
So I probably won't get away with it for very long after this, but like the plan with the ninja base, we were kind of scared. The other team was trying to all-in us, so I got like a ninja base just as insurance, just in case they weren't all-inning us. And we got like really defensive at the top, so I think that's kind of how they caught up.
That's not a bad reason, Seth. That can be ruined by one errant overlord or Ling that sees it. So that's all.
And that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. So Dark Menace, do you have anything for us? You haven't said anything throughout the night or the past few weeks. How was that game for you?
Yeah, it was a game.
It was a good game. So you're getting comfortable with Protoss? Are you gonna try your hand on Terran at all?
Depends if Phil wants me to. I don't
know. So it's all about neutrophil. Okay. KJ, it's hard to get anything out of these guys. Let's see if you can get anything.
So you're now playoff bound. Your strategy was obviously get War Bunnies and Hyper Turtle before they get to their preferred composition, and it worked, right? You busted through them, right? Now that this is done, what's next? You guys just gonna relax until the playoffs, or what? What are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, we don't really like practice for our games much in advance. We kind of just come up with the builds or plans like the day of, kind of just watching as the matches go along. So yeah.
Okay, well there you go. All right, well
All right.
congrats guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time. In the meantime, Tortoise and Hare remains here while we bring in the fourth member of this 2v2 team here, Little Dom. So let's bring up Little Reaper. Actually, we lost Tortoise and Hare. Let's bring them back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, we're bringing you guys back because we're
Alright.
gonna do a quick interview for your next game against Little Dom here, and also joined by this time Little Reaper. So let's start with Little Reaper. We don't see him on cam yet. Little Reaper, can you hear us? No. All right, so I see him on cam, but I don't hear him yet. Because we've asked a lot of questions for War Bunnies already and Hyper Turtle. Let's see if we can get something from Little Reaper. Little Reaper, can you hear us?
Little Reaper, can you hear us?
I think he's having some.
You're muted.
Yeah.
He's having issues.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Can you hear us, Little Reaper?
Yeah.
All right. So you just watched the last game, but you've seen a lot of games from Tortoise and Hare. What do you think your chances are tonight's game? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Or both?
I'm nervous.
You're nervous. All right. Do you think you're gonna? Because this is pretty much, if you win, you're in the playoffs. Do you think you guys are gonna win? No.
Hey, Seth, you guys are gonna laugh, but I need a 5-minute break. I had too much.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's do a quick 5-minute break.
Let's take
We'll
a 5-minute
give.
break. I need to go to the restroom, so I'll be back.
All right. So
Let these
Tortoise
guys,
and Hare will be
let
back
these
for
guys,
5 minutes.
Yeah, strategize, and we'll be back, guys. We'll play the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. 5-minute break.
I haven't had a break since running productions. I'm like, I gotta go, so I'll be back, guys.
I don't think those Vikings are gonna do too well against the Marines, but well, maybe I'm corrected.
Well, there's not that many Marines yet, so.
No, and they were not going in altogether either.
Yeah.
Over in the lower right, we have a hidden base a little bit further away from the rest.
Oh, I don't know about that. There are all these tanks back here. He uses up all of the Marines. And there it is. There's more being rallied forward. But like I said,
There's been a lot of carnage.
you can take your time here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You set up your fortification. You control the air, well you used to. I think you still do. And then let your liberators push forward, right? Now he is not making any more liberators, however.
Upgraded Liberator range if he could handle it, but I don't think he's got the tech for that.
I don't know about these Marines.
Yeah, those Marines aren't going to make it very far.
Yeah,
Got the repair mule down.
Ooh, good catch here. I think he can take care of that one Raven. Good job. The Raven threw out an auto turret, which really did not do anything.
Now, in the midst of all of this, they're both expanding, including additional flying command center. I'm not sure if that's scouting or just ready to plop down at the rich guest. All right, we got incoming.
Yeah, so there are these tanks. This is what I'm talking about. You have tank coverage from the back line.
Oh yeah. And on the high ground too.
But the
You
problem
don't want
here
to mess
is,
with tanks when they're up top.
yeah, this is where you need the Liberator, right? Where is the Liberator? You can't really bully your way in if there are tanks from the other side. That's why you need the Liberator.
Siege tanks are not something you want to exchange punches with. Oh, that could be those battle cruisers. Got 2 more in production even. Does he have Yamato yet? Upgrades. He does not have Yamato yet, and that can be very handy for your doing some good damage before you even get into range. This ain't gonna be pretty. Now, the thing about those battle cruisers, there's only so much damage they can do with their normal weapons against fully armored Thors. And those Thors have full upgrades. Meanwhile, the battle cruisers don't have any upgrades at all. They don't have attack, they don't have plating, they don't have Yamato, so this is not a fair fight. Those Thors, despite their lack of mobility, they can keep moving forward. They don't care about battle cruisers. Those mules, though, you know, you summon them down, you better have them repair, or I guess they're gonna go off in mine? I don't know. Look at how slowly those battle cruisers do damage against Thors with their normal weapons, and especially with the upgrade difference. Thors are heavy armored units, and battle cruisers, if they want to do a lot of damage against armor, they really need those Yamatos. Yeah. 3 tanks, and those Marines can't even get close there. Planetary Fortress. And those classic Brood War SCVs are on the run, and whew, there's a lot floating to the surface of the ocean right now. And that's an interesting trivia fact that I learned from this map and some of the other underwater maps. When you die, your body becomes a lot less dense, and you float more easily. So I've never put that to the test in actual water, but everything I know I learned from Starcraft, so you gotta take me to the bank on that. Oh man. 50 supply against 199, and Seth, hit the GG if you're listening. That is over. Fidel getting off to a slow start, but he kept building up. And it just goes to show you, if you both are able to take out one player, there's a lot less that the other player can do, even if you have to sacrifice a whole lot of troops. Now he's got a good defense here, he has a bunker, but this is a lot of aggression. Bunker goes down, supply depots are down, so it's most likely supply blocked now. There's going to be very little he can do. Little Reapers gonna have to make a choice. He's going to either go in there, try to reinforce him and defend him, or counterattack and try to do as much damage and take out one of his opponents so it turns into a 1v1 match. Can be very tricky, especially with the amount of damage he's done. Those Stalkers are able to hit air units too, so here's Little Reaper's attack. Yeah, those Stalkers were ready. Despite the slow zone, the Warp Prism got away, but it's going to have to get back here, otherwise they're going to be overwhelmed. This is actually going to be a pretty short match and a very long night. And there you go, there's a reason why Zerg Rush is a term used even outside of Starcraft. Once it was first introduced, it made an impression. See, they're trying to decide whether to target the pylons or the workers. They see the Dark Shrine, and they're going to try to eliminate it before there's any Dark Templar available. Dark Templar do get out, but it's Dark... yeah. Freedom is gone. Little Reaper is gone. It is time to hit the final GG of the night. Maestro.
Especially with these. There you go. Good pull on the workers though. Dublu's doing well. But he needs to put a
But
pylon down there.
even if he loses this, there is no CC here for the Terran. There's not even.
True, he's kind of.
There's not even an orbital. So.
That is true.
And
But
there's an immortal coming out. So I mean, if he loses this, that's unfortunate. But he's still ahead in workers.
Oh.
And you know, Deepu, and until he salvages these bunkers, he did.
Oh, but he really shouldn't be giving away these things though. He gave away so many things for free.
Yeah.
I liked his position, like you said, but he gave away how many probes there? 6 probes for free. This Immortal should be up front. I think he's missing the fact if you put a shield battery there, you can even overcharge it and boom, this is done.
Yeah,
now he's gonna lose his
Nexus. Or is he?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think he's gonna save this now. Because I
Well,
don't think...
actually, if I'm Deepu here, I go kill this Nexus. It's so dead. It's so close, but now it's too hard because he's at the spot, the high ground spot. This is a big army, and look at him just donate. Oh my
Hi,
gosh,
guys, we're back.
Deepu. He had a
What
nice
is
lead
up,
here.
guys?
Now this is what I was
We're
saying.
good to go. So let's talk to Seth real quick.
Yo, all right, let's have our.
Yeah, let's bring it back for interviews.
Hey, we're back.
And we're back. Now, let's see if Little Reaper's got his technical issues resolved. Little
Yeah,
Reaper, can you hear us?
Yeah, what?
Yeah. That's my fault.
Yeah.
I did production from start and I didn't have a restroom break. I'm like, I gotta go now before we even start this. So,
No problem.
Yeah, so I had to take
So,
advantage.
Little Reaper, do you think you guys are gonna win tonight?
He keeps turning off his headphones. I think his headphones just died of battery, so I guess no questions for him.
Oh, okay,
Until
alright.
then, look at him. So anyway, let him sort that out. At least it's not the mouse or keyboard, right? So let's ask
Yeah, so
the
I was
other guys.
during the break. I was looking through scenarios.
Yep.
And if Tortoise and Hare loses O2, they're out.
I see. Yep.
If they lose 2-1,
Oh, here's the big question. 2-1. What happens, Seth? Tell us.
I think I think it comes down to we have to figure out who won the most among the 3 teams that are in, because we're gonna have a scenario where they're all 3-3, and they all have the same map differentials, which is all gonna be -1.
What? Really?
Yeah, because the Little Dumb, if they went 2-1, they're only gonna get a +1 from their -2, so they'll be -1. And Tortoise and Hare, since they lost 1-2, they'll have a -1. So they all 3 will have a -1 differential.
What? So we're gonna go to a fourth tiebreaker, maybe?
Yeah, which is the overall number of wins, which means Little Dumb would have 8, and then Tortoise and Hare and Purifiers will both have 7. And so it comes
maybe
down
it's
to
maybe.
So it comes down to the match wins against themselves, those 3, and that one is gonna take a little bit more research.
All right, I guess we'll find out. But let's just figure it out by playing the games, I guess. I mean, that's
So yeah,
all
but
we can do.
so the basic idea here is Little Dumb wins regardless of the score they're in. If Tortoise and Hare loses 0-2, they're out.
Yeah.
But if they win, they're in.
I see.
And also purifiers, just like what Science said on chat. If Tortoise and Hare wins, then purifiers are in. So that's why they're cheering for Tortoise and
Okay,
Hare.
well, this is kind of
So what do you
confusing,
guys think about that? All those scenarios, Tortoise and Hare.
Well, that
If I
makes it.
try to keep track of all those scenarios, I'm not going to be able to keep track of the game. So I'll
We'll know
look at it
after.
afterwards.
Yeah.
I think these games are going to go 7 minutes each again, so we'll figure it out in 14 minutes, won't we?
Maybe.
I think I have a feeling these games will. I have a feeling these games will last longer than 7 minutes. I'll talk
We'll
about that
see.
during the broadcast. But any final words, KJ?
No, good luck, have fun. I have no idea. We're not as good as GG Izzy, so there's one for you guys. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how
All right,
this
so
goes.
I'm gonna need the production,
Yep,
which
production
is
will
Ferrari
get set,
here,
and I'll be right back.
and he's gonna jump in. Okay. All right, so we'll talk to you guys after the match. You guys can go ahead and go to your respective channels. Good luck, have fun. All right, just need to wait for. So wait, production. Who's doing the production? Is it Neutrophil or Dark Menace? Say yes if you are. We'll wait a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about this game a little bit more and what I think once we get started. We still have Little Reaper here. Actually, we're probably gonna have to need to move him down. Now we just need. Okay. All right. This is a case of when KJ Freedom is playing. Typically, I go ahead and do the production just to make it easier. But since I had a commitment earlier this evening, that was not possible. But we're making do. KJ Freedom is now in Starcraft. Let's invite him in. There he is. And we can get started. So production, can you put up the map veto screen so we can talk about that real quick? Uh-oh. He elected not to join. Let's try again. Alright, so map vetoes. It's gonna be Emerald City, Fields of Death, and Ruscallion. So the good thing is they're all together in all maps. The maps that you're kind of by yourself is the classic one is Arctic Dream. So this is gonna fare well for War Bunnies and Hyper Turtle. But we'll see how this goes. I don't even want to try to calculate this anymore. But it's just basically, if you win, you're in. And so Little Dom, their goal is to just get this victory, either 2-0 or 2-1, and they're good to go. Same as Tortoise and Hare. They just need to get this victory, and they're in. However, their victory, Tortoise and Hare, is being cheered on by the Purifiers. Because if Little Dom loses, then Purifiers are in. So that's pretty much the scenario. What makes this complicated is if Little Dom gets the victory, then what happens to Tortoise and Hare and the Purifiers? And that's where it's going to take a little bit more calculation, and we'll see how that goes. But Little Dom, they just need to win, and I think based on tiebreakers, they're in. We're just waiting for KJ Freedom to join. I think he had no audio. Alright, game is restarting. Alright, all of the suspense. The 2v2 playoff bracket depends on this match. And looking at the other divisions here, Code B is done. We have Fenrir, Champone, Kitty Cat Gamer. And then Code A, we've got Criminal, The Archaic, Little Reaper, and Cyan. And so this is gonna be pretty cool, is because the winner of Code B, either Champone, Kitty Cat Gamer, or Fenrir, the overall champion for Code B will get to represent Code B and face Cyan on that play-in bracket for Code A. And that's gonna be pretty exciting to see a Code B go against Cyan. And then from then on, we'll have a Criminal play that winner of Cyan in the Code B. And the Archaic and Little Reaper are going to have to duke it out to see who will go to the finals for Code A. So that's going to be exciting. Code S, we'll have it resolved next Wednesday. Basically, Mizel needs to play 2 matches. And if he wins those 2 matches, he's in. If he loses any of those matches, he's out. And KJ Freedom is in. And so we'll see how prepared Mizel is going to be, because he's going to have 2 tough opponents. One of them is Ghost Chant, which is not an easy opponent to deal with. And then also, he's going to be facing Instability, who was the #1 seed for the most part of the season, but right now it's Dark Menace. But if Instability wins that game, she takes the #1 seed. So there is motivation for both sides. And then we're also going to wrap up the final 2v2 matches. Blind Leading to Death and Benzel and Kodeo. Now those matches actually do not have any playoff implication. Actually, it might if... No, actually it does not. There's no playoff implications for that. It does not alter Kodeo's path, even if they lose or win that game. And Benzel and the Blind Leading to Death are actually out of the playoffs. They've been eliminated, so... Alright, let's try again. KJ Freedom is in Starcraft, but cannot join for some reason. Uh-oh. Hmm. All right, Ferrari. See if he can host a game, and maybe we'll join his game. Host Emerald City, and let me know if he's able to create it, and then I can join his game. Ah, never mind. He logged off. All right. Sorry, guys, for having technical difficulties here. This is for all the marbles here for these 2 teams. Win and you're in. And this is really creating a big suspense on the outcome of our 2v2 bracket. Alright, let's try this once more. There it is. Alright, we're all in. Players ready? No. Almost. Okay. Alright, ready. Tortoise, and they are ready. Okay, let's go. Okay, starting. All right, let's do this. Long-awaited matchup. Sorry for the delay there. But this is our final match of the night. This is a pretty important match for both teams. And let's do this.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
Alright, introducing our players on the top left corner of Emerald City. The Purple Zerg.
Hyper Turtle.
And his teammate. The Air Toss player. He is.
War Bunnies.
And their team is called
Tortoise and Hare.
And their opponents on the bottom right corner. The Red Terran. And his teammate. The Orange Protoss. Alright, so let's talk. Oh, and their team is called
Little Dumb.
I almost forgot that last introduction. But here's Little Reaper scouting. Just it's an early scout, which is always good against 2v2. You gotta figure out what your opponent is doing. Oh, big pull there for Hyper Turtle. Actually, not worth it. You just need to have them keep mining as much as possible. Otherwise, it'll throw your timing off. Usually, you don't get that probe anyway. Very rare that you do. And most of the time it's not worth it to throw off your own timing. They can easily mineral walk out of there. But we were talking about in the last game where if Tortoise and Hare survives the first 8 minutes, I think they'll be in good position to get to their ideal comp. And from then on, you never know who's gonna win, right? I think they're really practiced with that composition. And they have a good chance to taking that victory. But they need to get to that first 8 minutes, right? And obviously, in those first 2 games, that didn't happen. They got overrun early, and there was a quick 2-0. And now coming to this game, I think it's the same thing, where are they going to get to their ideal comp? And are they going to survive the first 8 minutes? And I think it's different here because their opponent is Little Dom, and they are not as aggressive. They don't have that timing as a team to hit that early. So Little Reaper does have some builds that will get a Warp Prism across the map and do some harassment way before the 8-minute mark. But they're not a team really known to be able to do that. So, and I think because of that, I think they'll be able to survive first 8 minutes, and they'll be able to get to their air toss with some ground support from the Zerg, right? Either lurkers or hydras or roaches, etc. And once they get there, then it's pretty much anybody's game. And War Bunnies and Hyper Turtle are very practiced with that composition, and that's why if they get there, they can navigate their way to victory. So, if you're looking at this, we see Little Reaper. He is already behind in worker count against War Bunnies. But he is putting down a Warp Prism, but Void Ray is already on the way. There is a Forge for War Bunnies. I think he's going to be defensive, make some static D here. But like I said, I don't think they're gonna hit as strong of a timing as GG Izzy did. And if they don't, then Tortoise and Hare can get to their comfort zones. So Um, Freedom is powering up here, just making 4 Marines at a time. Combat Shield even gets the Concussive Shell upgrade. He already has Stim, but he actually has 3 racks, so he can produce a ton of bio units early. But I don't think they're gonna hit as early before War Bunnies and them can really mount a good defense. So here's the Warp Prism with 2 Stalkers. I think he's gonna start going across the map, maybe see if he can get some harassment done. The danger in doing that is the Warp Prism can easily get picked off by the Void Ray. Alright, if you fly over those dead zones and there's a Void Ray there and it just turns on its prismatic alignment, you would lose that Warp Prism along with the units inside. So that's the danger in it. Little Reaper is making a Dark Shrine, and so this indicates that this is going to be a little bit longer game. They're not going to be hitting anytime soon because that Dark Shrine takes a while to finish. In the meantime, War Bunnies has started his +1 upgrade, puts down his 2nd Stargate, and this is pretty much farther than he's gotten the previous game, so they're already looking good. Hyper Turtle has a ton of links. He is really behind in worker count though, but he's kind of straddling the middle line here, trying to make workers and droning up at the same time. Alright, that's a good scout there by the Ling. Sees a ton of Marines moving out. They don't have AoE. Well, they do. They have Banelings. More Banelings aren't coming. Fleet Beacon is coming up. So I think this base might be forfeit, but it's okay. You can give this up. But they are going to try to save it. They're going to go down there. Yep, they're going to give it up. They're just going to abandon, which is, you know, I don't mind this move. I actually prefer that. And the Banelings are going to waddle back to the left side. There's Blink here. Oh, he's too far. Hyper Turtle is too far to support. And here the Banelings. The Banelings come in and connect on the Marines. Oh, big hit there for the Banelings. There is an overcharge. More Links are coming in for support. And I think the Links are enough to clear this out. And as I said, they're even with that very ideal scenario there for Little Dom. Tortoise and Hare defended that very well. And those Banelings were key, and I think we should clip that for our highlights next week. But at the same time, it was pretty late on the reaction there when the Marines stemmed up. War Bunnies lost, you know, a few more Void Rays than he should have. But at the end of the day, they survived. He's already started carrier production. He is being ambitious with his 3rd base right now when there's a big army, but the army actually ignored it. Alright, so those Lings and the Banelings really helped defend that. There are DTs that are in that War Prism. And let's see if the DTs... There's a cannon here though, and there's a Void Ray, so I don't know if this is going to do anything. Yeah, it's going to take care of the DTs real quick. The DTs are going to try to run left so it can avoid the detection. Is there an Overseer? Overseers are being produced, a couple of them. And he's going to lose the pylon, but at the same time, they're going to try to push up front. Most of the units are in the back, in the main base. They are trying to run down to help this base, but I don't know if they can save it. They're going to need to forfeit this again. Just a couple of DTs pull the entire army back. There's a Widow Mine down there, so he has to be careful. He's trying to detonate it. Oh, there's a blink by the Stalkers, but prismatic aligned Void Rays make quick work of it. And I think they're going to clean this up. Yeah, Little Reaper is very low on supply. He's only at 32 workers. Right now, he's at 40 supply. So, this doesn't look good. Tortoise and Hare pushes this back. And actually, the Lynx push it all the way back. And so let's see if War Bunnies take that 3rd. He needs an expansion soon. Because he can... But you know what? They're in good shape here. Little Dom themselves are only on 2 bases, so it's a good counter here for the Lynx. Lynx are doing a ton of work, keeping Little Dom busy, while War Bunnies takes 2 expansions, in fact. So it's looking good for them, and this is what I was talking about. Once you reach the 8-minute mark, they get to their comfort zone here. He's now dropping down the second cybernetic score, so he can start doing double upgrades for the air units. Also, one of the bigger Baneling hits that we've seen. That really saved the day for Turtis and Hare and might save their season. But this is still just one game. They need to get 2 wins to be guaranteed in. Alright, so War Bunny's now taking this forward base. He's taking 2 bases at a time, as I said. But another Stargate's on the way. 2 carriers are in production. Hive is on the way, but does he have speed on these? Yeah, he does have Baneling speed, so he just needs to make enough Banelings and Lurkers here to make sure to protect the carriers. And I think this is their comfort zone. So once they get to this point, they know how to navigate to a victory. Right. So where are we at? Hyper Turtle is droning up. He's, he kind of stayed really low on the drone count there. But it's okay because Little Reaper did the same. War Bunnies and Freedom are the ones who are up in supply. They are taking their 3rd now. Freedom is taking a ninja base as well. But I think Turtis and Hare are content with where the game is at now. They're making their air units. They're making their AoE on the ground. And once they get to their close to max supply, I think they're going to move out. And it's going to be very tough for Little Dom to kind of counter that set of composition. Because I don't think they have the right composition for that, to be able to counter this. Little Reaper is still making just Stalkers. And right now, at this point, Stalkers are not going to cut it. There are Lynx kind of scout on the top right, but they did miss the ninja base. It's not mining yet, so but upgrades are coming in. Let's look at the upgrades here. The upgrades, the Zerg player is 1-1. The air is already at 1-1, and that's it. The Marines are only +1. The bio, I mean. Thors are in production 3 at a time. Problem here. Oh, here's the run by the Lings. I don't think. Oh no! These are Banelings. Oh! Ouch! Little Reaper now drops to 36 workers. He does have his 3rd base, but he lost a ton of workers there, ton of probes. Too bad this game heart does not give you the worker count lost when it's a team game. But I think we can figure that out. That's it. Can't seem to figure out what the unit lost is key, but here, that's a lot of carriers. How many carriers is that? That's 10 carriers, 5 Void Rays, 2 Tempest, and a Partridge in the Pear Tree. This is not looking good for Little Dom here. Freedom is about to be maxed, but so is War Bunnies. And Hyper Turtle has a good comp to counter ground units with his AoE. He's even putting down an Ultralisk Cavern. Sorry, an Ultralisk Cavern. It will be Hydralisk Den, Roach Warren, and Ultralisk Cavern. So it looks sounds a little bit bigger since it's a cavern. But 3-4 carriers produced at a time. Freedom is now fully maxed. War Bunnies is not too far behind. Hyper Turtle is at 143 supply. And so, but Little Reaper is kind of lagging behind. He's under 100. He does have a big bank, right? So I think if he just, I think he's waiting for the fleet beacon so he can start making his own air. But that might be a little too late here. Here's the big air armada moving down south. KJ Freedom spots it. He's trying to run away. But here are the Banelings. And I think this is where Turtis and Hare are gonna start their siege. There are Vipers here, but let's see Hyper Turtles controlling the Vikings. He did very well in the last game I saw him do get Vipers. But cancels that base really quickly. There is no defense up on the 12 o'clock location, this gold base. But I don't think Tortoise and Hare cares right now. I think they're going to go for it. There are Banelings down here. You've got to be careful, Freedom. And here's the battle. And this is pretty much a 2-on-1 because it's only Freedom fighting here. Little Reaper is nowhere to be found. And doesn't matter if you have Thors against those carriers. Those Thors will fall quickly against the Lurkers and the Hydras underneath. There are even Void Rays that can Prismatic Align against those Thors. And I think this is the victory march that Tortoise and Hare's looking for. There are a lot of Stalkers that are countering, but that's not really going to do much. Lynx are actually trading very well against them, but at the same time, their main base is being ravaged. Lynx are actually trying to go back. Zerg is trying to go back to deal with those Stalkers and let War Bunnies take care of the main base because I think the Air Armada is enough to be able to clean this up here and clean up this game. And Tortoise and Hare can take a 1-0 lead. Yeah, there's no way Terran can deal with this with the Lurkers underneath. GG! Like I said, if they get to this comp, they're dangerous. And we have a 1-0 victory here. 1-0 lead, rather, for Tortoise and Hare. And they're one victory away from the playoffs. Alright, so the game number 2 is going to be on Fields of Death. Okay. Alright. Alright, let's set up our next game. Okay, Tortoise and Hare is ready. Let's see if Little Dom is ready. Give him a moment. And they're good. Let's start this.
You are watching FSL Season 5.
Alright. Number 2. Fields of Death. Introducing our players. On the top side of Fields of Death, the purple Zerg.
Hyper Turtle.
And his teammate, the blue Protoss.
War Bunnies.
And their team is called
Tortoise and Hare.
And their opponent on the bottom side, the orange Protoss. He is Little Reaper. And his teammate, the red Terran. He is KJ Freedom. And their team is called Little Dom. Sorry, their intros were not prepared. And so the person doing for production unfortunately can't make that last second change since he's playing. But it's okay, you guys know who they are. That's KJ Freedom, Little Reaper. We've seen their intros many times. But a hatch first opener here for our Zerg. Scouting is Little Reaper. sees the expansion, also sees the blue Protoss trying to get to his expansion, and it's just gonna be enough as he gets there to drop down the 400 Nexus. Perfectly timed. Little Reaper actually took his Nexus a lot earlier. And I think that is because... Oh no, it's a lot earlier than War Bunnies. I wonder what happened there. They both had their Cybers later too. It's Nexus before Cybers, so... Alright, Freedom likes to take this gold base down here. Actually, I'm not a fan of this location for an expansion. It is a gold base. It'll give you a boost in income. But at the same time, it's so vulnerable. Because if they attack it, unless you have air units, you have to go all the way around to get there to defend it. Otherwise, it's just pretty much forfeit. I'd rather just take the easily defendable bases on the left, and then after your natural to the third bases right above it. That I'd prefer that. But if it's unscouted, that base will really definitely pay its dividends. Alright, here's the Roach. There's a Reaper harass. And looks like it's going to be able to get away. Didn't get any kills. But it's really to scout. What did he scout? Well, I'm pretty sure he is not surprised. It's going to be Stargate with a +1 right off the bat. Even skipping warp research. Right? I don't need to spend 50 gas on that warp when I'm not even going to use it. So he goes straight for +1 air attack and the Void Ray. Freedom's expansion. It's not his natural. So his first expansion is on the gold base. So he's going to get a ton of money. A boost in income there. Third base is on the way for our Zerg. Just could probably taken that a little bit earlier, but it's good that he has it now. It's making... These are speedlings. So these Reapers have to be careful. And I think he identified that there are enough links here to surround him. So he's just going to run back and maybe check out the towers. Run back to defend. If those speedlings go across the map, I need all the units that I can get. But as we all have map hack here, we can see that they're not. They're just chilling back home. He is going to send a few to go scout. So. And there is... Oh, 2 cannons are in production. So 2 cannons are in it's natural and his main base. Not bad. I think it's a good call for any drops. And actually it helped him in the last game. Those DTs were dropped, 3 of them, and he did not have a cannon in his main. That game could have turned different direction. So, Banelings are in the way. You gotta remember, last game, those Banelings saved their butts there. Alright, so War Prism is out. But you also know that the blue Protoss will have Void Rays already. So you have to be careful with this Warp Prism. There is a proxy... Is that a proxy pylon on the right side? Yes, it is. And he is Viper Turtle. I don't know. War Bunny should be able to see it, and he does. And he sends all his units down, which includes Void Rays. Which this... Warp Prism should not be going in there, but he has to be careful. He's warping a ton of Zealots, but you know what? If you're by yourself, this is not very effective. There are Banelings here as well. And these Zealots do not shoot up. Is it gonna cancel this? No, it's not. Banelings make quick work of these Zealots. And they are quickly dispatched. That's a lot of Zealots lost. That's pretty expensive. The Reaper supply... now at 33, well behind the other 3 players. And more Banelings is a good call here for Hyper Turtle. He used up a lot of Banelings trying to deflect those Zealots, but you're going to need a lot more against these Marines. So He's making more. He's even getting speed. And oh, you gotta be careful. Warp Prism is being hunted down by these Void Rays, but the Void Rays do not have the speed upgrade yet, and they're just gonna go back. They try. Actually, if they pursued, they probably would have gotten this, but they did not. They're gonna go back. It's a safe play. He didn't want a repeat on game number 2 against GG Izzy, where they got caught. Oh no, you cannot. He's gonna lose this Warp Prism. No, he's not. He is gonna lose a couple of Zealots for nothing though. And the Warp Prism has hull damage. So the shields will regenerate, but the hull will stay permanent unless he asks KJ Freedom's SCVs to repair them, which they can repair them. Which doesn't make sense. I mean, these are Protoss technology and you have an SCV trying to repair it, so. But anyway, shields will regenerate, but they're a little bit of hull damage. He has to be careful if he dives in there again. Widow Mines and Vikings are tech choice here for Freedom. But same strat here for the Tortoise and Hare team. Uh-oh! KJ Freedom's not looking, and good thing there's a critical mass of Marines here to be able to kill the Banelings as they funnel in single file. But he got lucky because it only take a Baneling or 2 hit to decimate that entire Marine force there. But that was pretty expensive for Hyper Turtle. It was a good try though. I would have kind of not had them go in a straight line, but kind of split them up so they're coming in, not single file. But it was a good attempt. Freedom is trying to turtle, get some defensive structures up. But I don't care. I don't think Tortoise and Hare cares. Little Reaper is transitioning to air, but it's a lot behind. That's far behind War Bunnies though. And upgrade wise, he is getting armor and shields already. Wonder why he hasn't started the plus 2 upgrade, which Little Reaper's already started his plus 2 attack. So, because they're tied up. He needs a second cyber, and which he realizes, so that's why he's dropping a second cyber. Alright. So Freedom is ahead in supply. That's with that boost of that gold income. He's taking the ninja on the bottom right. This is a doom drop on the right side, but he has to be careful because in 2v2, if you go up there and both armies are there, you're gonna get wiped out. And they do scout it. They should be able to see this. And this is gonna be painful. Prismatic alignment is gonna wipe out 1, 2, 3. Is it 4? 4! Oh my goodness. Freedom just plummeted in supply. 4 medivacs full of units. There's a drop on the top side by Little Reaper. Let's see what's going on there on the main base of the Blue Protoss. There are Banelings, there are cannons, and they are gone. The Zealots are. So good defense here for Tortoise and Hare. Freedom is trying to force the issue here on the right side, but like I said, he has to be careful because both teams are here for little Tortoise and Hare. He might cancel that, but he might lose his entire army here if he's not careful. They do need detection though. Who is on detection duty? Zerg? Zerg is getting Overlord speed, but I don't see him. Oh, he does have an Overseer. 1 Overseer, so. Alright, so War Bunnies did start his plus 2 attack, but is not doing his other armor since he has 2 cybers by now. And they're just powering up. Hyper Turtle is now adding lurkers to his comp. Oh! I thought that was gonna burrow it, but alright, so good catch there. And they are now sharking around. They're gonna see what's going on, and they're gonna find the gold base, but that gold base should be pretty much well mined out. But it's good to clear this out. Take out all of these SCVs. And does Little Reaper have enough air units? Hey, picks off. War Bunnies picks off the fleet beacon, so Little Reaper cannot make any more carriers here. What he has is gonna be it for a while. Well, actually, he does have 2 in production, but that's gonna be it for a while. They're gonna circle around to the other side. They need to stick together though if they want to make this work. There are a lot of Widow Mines. A lot of it get triggered. Oh, nice hits by the Banelings. The Banelings wiped out a lot of the Widow Mines already. Here are the Banelings crashing in all these Marines. The Marines take a lot of damage. They stemmed in. I think you just need to sneeze at some of them and they will fall. But the air army by War Bunnies is taking apart the main base of Little Reaper. But he's gonna fall back. They're all gonna fall back. You know, I don't mind that. You've taken away the ability for Little Reaper to produce air units at this point. You yourself can produce air still, War Bunnies. So he's just gonna go back and see if he can get maxed out. But Little Reaper is trying to chase him and try to force the issue, but I don't think this is a good idea. There's more air units here for War Bunnies. Oh, he loses almost all but one of the carriers. There's one left. Never mind, there's none left. Here is Hyper Turtle to help with the ground units. And I think they can keep pushing here, but are they going to regroup? They are gonna, yeah, this is a good move here by Hyper Turtle. More Banelings are in the way. War Bunnies is now at 171 supply. 3 carriers at a time, plus 2 armor. And with all of these Banelings already, uh-oh. Okay, good thing that he noticed, because that would have decimated his army. Those 2 Widow Mine hits. Alright. So War Bunny's army is right in the middle of the lake. And I think it's just poking here. It's not really a lake, it's a lava lake. But he got hit by a couple of Widow Mines, and I think that deterred him from moving forward. I think he's probably telling his teammate now, look, I need detection. Come with me. 2 more Stargates for War Bunnies. 2 more carriers. And the +3 for attack and armor for air. And he's gonna spot these ninja bases. And I think he can take care of these really quickly. Does he know about the top left? And I think he's gonna check there as well. Top left has now been forfeit. So this really takes out the potential income for Freedom. He does have the bottom right, but he lost the gold base. And actually there is, if you look at the bottom right corner of the map, they know that it's something was happening there. Oh yeah, 1 Ling went there to check and they got killed by the SCVs. So now that 1 Ling signaled everybody to come down. Alright, but Freedom is posturing on the top side of the base. There is a ton of Widow Mines here, but it's gonna probably go off against the top of the... Oh, good thing the Marines ran back, because otherwise that would have been disastrous. Widow Mines trying to target interceptors that are on top of the Marines, but there are blinding clouds by the Vipers, and I think this might be it, because Freedom cannot lose this army, and he does. There are all these Widow Mines, but that's not gonna be enough. Hyper Turtle's in pursuit. Hyper Turtle has the biggest unit count in the game. More Banelings wipe out the rest of the Widow Mines. Freedom cannot rebuild. He only has the main base, which is already mined out, and this base here, which is also mined out, and he has no income. Little Reaper is still producing, well, he is producing 5 carriers at a time, but I don't think that will be enough here. I think this is a victory march for Turtis and Hare, and this is a victory to catapult them into playoffs. Good win, good job by Turtis and Hare. Just falling short there is Little Dom. Woo! Bring in our players here. Good games, gentlemen. Let's as we wait for KJ Freedom to hop back in the production chair. What an action-packed game. And Cyan is happy as Tortoise and Hair team is happy.
Hey,
They're both in.
Patreon donors unite.
Unite, that's right.
It's
But
really our
yeah, go ahead.
clan. We owe that to our clan. We have a Zerg
Particularly Green
player.
Empire, and he, in between matches, he gave me the exact timing he wanted me to do, and I liked it. I think I'll keep it.
Yeah, well,
whatever you were
tell us about that timing then. Or are you
third,
not?
Third on 3 minutes. Well, it's not a secret time, and anyone can watch the replay anyway. But about 4 minutes Baneling Nest and second gas, 4.5 minutes later, and just keep pumping the queens and the zerglings out to begin with.
Yeah. Well, talking about that Baneling Nest timing with the Banelings, because game number 1, we talked about, in our pre-game and during the cast that you guys just need to survive the first 8 minutes. And 6 minutes 6 minutes and 30, I think. Here's a big force by Little Dom with a ton of Marines, and they go up your ramp, and they're about to have their victory push, and the Banelings just connected the most efficient way that you can and saved you guys from that defeat, and from then on
was
get that
dead.
victory. Talk about that Baneling hit, Hyper Turtle, and walk us through what was going through your head.
I was just making sure to come from more than one side. That's another thing that we've been talking about. And also on top of that, there have been timings I've lost from that kind of Baneling hit, so it's, just a question of making sure that they've got nowhere to back away to.
Gotcha. But actually, I kind of jumped the gun here as well. Let's talk first with Little Dom. Little Dom, you guys had that timing in game number 1, right? It was with War Prism, supported with Stalkers, and then Marines and Medics, and even a couple of Widow Mines. That was the plan, but what went wrong other than the Banelings?
Well, it's definitely the Banelings. It was my fault. I couldn't control my Marines properly for some reason, so... that's not an excuse. That's really on me. So we lost that because of my mistake with the Banelings. I really should control that better. So that's definitely my mistake on game 1.
Yeah, that was pretty much. I think if the Banelings did not hit, I think there are enough Marines there to push through and win that game because they've cleared out all of the Void Rays at that point, and then the Stalkers were coming in and wiped in. But game number 2, you guys didn't do a similar time. You kind of just stood back, hung back, and poked here and there. But I think the biggest part of that game was when you lost those 4 medevacs full of bio, right? I think that was the turning point of that game because at that point,
yeah, we don't really
you were
know what
pretty
we
much
doing.
maxed out.
Honestly, game 2, I could tell we were not playing well. I myself wasn't playing well, and Little Reaper was, according to some, when we looked, he had too much money. He wasn't really macroing spending. Well, he only had 4 gateways in game 1, so I figured really, really couldn't do the same exact thing. So we just thought we'd do something different. But we really were not. We didn't really have a plan. Let's just say it that way. So that's what happens when you don't have a plan. You're gonna lose to a team with a well-executed plan. I think that's how it works.
Gotcha. And Little Reaper, so second game you went air as well.
Yeah.
So, but you were trying to drop some zealots to his main base that had a lot of cannons. What was the plan there? Because I know you were warping in zealots, but they were being killed by a lot of cannons and a lot of units there. What was the plan?
I was just trying to do something.
Trying to harass.
Trying to do something.
Gotcha. Alright, any final words, Lil Dom, as this season is now closed for you guys? You guys are now officially eliminated. Any final words?
What?
Any last words before we close out the season for FSL 5 for 2v2 for Little Dom? No final words, Little Reaper?
Good luck, I guess.
Good luck to the playoff teams. Gonna be cheering for GG Izzy, I guess. Alright, now, congratulations, Tortoise and Hair. You guys needed that victory. You got that victory. We talked about the Banelings in game number 1, but I also talked about those medevacs, war bunnies. So you saw those medevacs, and you hunted them down. Walk us through that.
Well, I wasn't expecting them to go medevacs. They know I go Sky, but David had some pretty good. We're trying to focus on spread of units to get so we're not in the dark. And I saw them coming, and I'm like, well, that's odd. And then I saw them go over the dead space. I'm like, well, I think we can win the game right here. And you know, I thought they were taking they had so many outer bases on that, like we kept finding bases left and right. I thought they had all of their pocket bases, but they ignored them. So I thought we were ahead when I caught those, but they kept expanding. I'm like, man, maybe they're just macroing like gods back home, and they're not really focused in on each little detail. And I was afraid because they kept me off of fourth base time and time again. And you know, it wasn't to the end of the game. They didn't take their thirds. It was kind of.
I've seen before Little Dom. They don't seem as familiar with the 2v2 maps as they are with the 1v1.
They're both very good 1v1 players. So I was actually shocked. To be honest, I thought this morning waking up, I'm like, man, I hope we can win a single game. I really thought both games were going to look exactly like the first set for us, where there was going to be a 6-minute timing, and I don't know how David got so much better between the games, but I was looking at the replays, just the army value difference between the two series is night and day. It's like he jumped 400 MMR in 20 minutes.
Yeah, you guys played the best I've seen you guys play, especially Hyper Turtle, in our games, unfortunately. But fortunately, you guys played the best I've seen you all season, so you're looking good.
I'm trying to refine things, and you know, the strategy doesn't change. You know, I try to provide the splash damage while Bunnies builds up, but I think we were able to turn a little bit of a new page as far as earlier splash damage. So I'm going to continue to experiment.
So with that
don't experiment, do that again. Get good at that.
Yeah, get good with that. But with that victory, that earns you the right to face Kodayo in the playoffs for your first round of the playoffs. What do you think about that matchup?
Kodeo and GG Izzy are both very, very good teams, and Kodeo, I think we have a better chance at than GG Izzy. I think if we can
a lot
hold
of it
against
depends. They're both teams that are really good at early pushes and really good late games. So it's all a question of making sure that we gain a lead and maintain it.
Yeah, Kodeo, we had one game, and we've played them tight most of our games against them, but they've beaten us, so we're 0-4, so the record is the record, as they like to say in football. But GG Izzy, they both macro and micro really well, so the playoffs are going to be really tough. I'm hoping that we can maybe pull an upset on Kodeo, and maybe the Purifiers can pull an upset on GG Izzy, and we can fight them for the finals. So, but we're just gonna have to get better. We're just gonna have to get better, and that's it.
And I think it also helps that now I got the 1v1 stuff behind me, so we've been focusing a little bit more on the 2v2 side of things, strictly, and on the Zerg Protoss stuff strictly. So.
So yeah, I mean, it's anything can happen. Keep in mind, this is gonna be a best of 5 matchup, so it's gonna be tough for all the teams. But we finally had the playoff. Actually, I just want to thank you for not making this complicated on me, trying to figure out who's in and who's not. And so the mere fact that you guys had that victory 2-0 makes it clean and simple, straightforward, black and white. So.
And there's the
well, you're
we
welcome.
hope to keep things simple going forward. Yeah. All right. Here we gotta go pick up our kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congrats, guys.
Good night, guys. Thanks.
And
we'll see you on May 11th. We'll see you guys May 11th for the playoffs.
All right.
See you then. Thank you.
GG's.
All right, Seb. So let's talk about what we got going on here.
Yeah. So
the records
right there. So 2v2 is final, as well as something else was final, right? The code S. No, something else. Was final.
Yeah, code A. But
Oh,
let's
code A is
let's stick
final.
with 2v2 for now. So if you look at 2v2, you see
Yep.
those 4 teams. It's pretty straightforward. GG Izzy with a 5-1. Kodeo is still playing on Wednesday, but it has no bearing. Even if they win, they lose out on the tiebreaker against GG Izzy. And even if they lose, they win the tiebreaker against Tortoise and Hare. And they're gonna play each other anyway. So Purifiers will now face against GG Izzy. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Excited for the playoffs for 2v2. If you look at the schedule, it's already there in the schedule as well. It's gonna be the May 11th playoffs. It's gonna be best of 5, and there it is. And so this wraps it up. Everything is crystal clear. The 2v2, we have 2 matches for 2v2 next Wednesday, but it has no bearing. But it'll just be fun to see Benzel and Kodeo and the blind leading the depth one last time, which is gonna be pretty
that's
cool.
true. But let me talk about this playoff schedule for 2v2. I really like the matchup, Seth, just because you can conceivably see either team win in both matchups. I can see.
Oh,
that.
definitely, yeah. And yeah, I mean we do have favored teams, but it's not inconceivable to see Tortoise and Hare win or Purifiers win, right?
Yeah.
And I think if they, like what we've been talking about FSL, if they prepare a build specifically to snipe the other team's tendencies, you could get those victories. The problem you have really is, now that it's a playoffs, you need to win 3 games this time, right? It's five best of 5. So
3 games, yep.
yeah, you're gonna need a little bit more strategy than just a one hitter, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be cool. Can't wait to see that in the playoffs.
It's gonna be really good.
Yep. And we wrapped up Code A as well.
Yeah, the playoffs are set there too.
Yes, they are set. We might move the schedule down because I think we have an extra week since we can push it because we're gonna finish out the end of May, so we're gonna still be on track of that. But the ones that are already set, that's the schedule isn't. But if we look at the playoff standings for Code A, we've got Criminal. I kind of talked about this during the break earlier, while you were setting up your Starcraft. But Criminal gets the #1 seed. Cyan gets the 4th seed with that victory against Deepu. That's actually a pretty big victory. With the way Deepu played last season, for him to knock him out. So now, it's going to be exciting is that Code B, who the winner is between, among Fenrir, Champone, and Kitty Cat Gamer, whoever wins Code B will face Cyan for the play-in. So that's going to be fun to watch, right?
Yeah.
And then the winner of that will place Criminal. And then we have the Archaic going against Little Reaper.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
so that's going to be exciting.
That's the playoff. We'll probably make a graphic to show all of this when this is all set.
Yes,
And,
definitely. And with the schedule as well. So
Yep. And that'll be really cool to watch. But guys,
yeah, we're going to update the schedule. But that's pretty much kind of the template behind it.
yeah,
Because I think because it's a best of 5, we'll try to do just 2 matches per night. Because I think if we do 3 matches and all 3 matches go 5 games, that would be a very long night. So
that's true.
So yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. Good games.
Oh, well, real quick,
And,
we have one final regular season night or day, wherever you are,
next week.
on
Next
Wednesday.
Week we do have the matches for next week. The last one to end the season. And
Yeah,
that
we're gonna
will
have 4
finalize
matches.
That'll finalize everything, right? All the seeds.
Yeah. So basically, the 2v2s that we talked about, they are doesn't have any implication with the playoffs, but they're gonna be fun. But the one that's gonna be important would be the Code S matches.
Yeah. This one determines if I'm in the playoffs or not. So if
So,
somehow wins
Mizel-
both of them,
Yes.
He's in.
Then he's in. If he loses one,
it's done.
then
I'm in.
he's out.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, and then Freedom. Yep. So we'll see that on Wednesday. That's our final regular season, our season finale here, and then playoffs, which playoffs gets a little bit more nerve-wracking for the players. It'll
So
be
yeah,
fun.
that with that, Ghost Chant instability. If you need some help practicing against Mizel, let me know. Anyway, guys, that'll do
Yeah,
it
he
for
has
tonight's.
vested interest in that, so.
I do have an interest in that, so I'll help you. But that'll do it for tonight's FSL. It was great seeing you guys, and congrats on a big win. I lost on that, but I think this is better matchups overall. We just were not up to par to go into the playoffs the way we were playing. So, but anyways, GG's.
GG's.
And any final words, Seth, on this? This is a good night. That's funny to me to
No,
say, but it's true.
too bad I missed the Cyan Deepu game,
That was
but
pretty good, yeah.
I'll watch the VOD on that to see what happened. But yeah, I be interested to see what happened exactly and watch it on the VOD. So.
Indeed. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. The final.
All right, GG's.
Laters.
you